A little girl opened her eyes wide in surprise on a sunny afternoon. The little girl lay dazedly on the fresh grass. I, Lillian Surgeneb, 12 years old, I had fallen from the tree I climbed to tease my sister Eloise. My previous life was as an orphan. I grew up in the coldness of my aunt and cousins. Having an unhappy childhood, my cousins always teased and criticized her, no matter how well she studied. So what, she is still ugly. At that time she just silently cursed in her heart. It would have been good if your parents bought insurance. Finally, she could leave that house. The aunt who had criticized her tried to hold her back, but as if she did not remember any of the kindness of raising her. She did not care and thought my aunt's house might have spent it all, but where is the rest of mine? With confidence, I passed the entrance exam to a prestigious university, graduating at the top of the mechanical engineering department. I failed miserably in the recruitment exam for the large corporation that I confidently applied to. I really could not believe it. I failed. How could a talent like me? But even worse, I heard the news that my classmates, those friends, actually found a good job. So envious. He is so lucky. She did not want to believe it. It is probably just luck. When we were working in a group, he just sat there and did not help at all. Right from the first step into society, I had to taste bitter fruit. Because I was annoyed, I drank more than usual. She angrily cursed and yelled, "Oh, whatever, is not it just a company to miss a talent like me and choose those kinds of people?" Unfortunately, while rewriting her resume, she was hit by a car and transmigrated. Back to the present, Lillian was a little surprised and could not believe it, exclaiming, "Wow, did I really die in such a pointless way?" She sat up abruptly, wondering, "I wonder who will take care of my funeral. But oh well, I am dead, so I do not need to worry about that anymore." Now the problem is, the body I just revived into belongs to the Surgeneb ducal family. Looking at the mansion like a palace, she could not help but exclaim, "How strange. Even though this is where I lived before recovering my memories of Shin Yuna, it still gives me goosebumps like this. It is like a hardcore dating game with mint chocolate mixed with kimchi, but the genre does not matter compared to the challenges I have to face because the female lead of this game is none other than my poor sister, who I used to mercilessly torment." While Lillian was lying down, a girl ran up and called, "Eloise." The girl said worriedly, "Are you okay? Are you feeling tired again? To be more precise, Eloise is my half-sister. It is about the female lead being kidnapped by the Emperor and trying to escape from the palace, with the ending always being that she is imprisoned by the Emperor. The game world is full of monsters like dragons, and this is the reason why the game has an age restriction of 19+. I am the evil half-sister of the female lead, and in the end, I am killed by the male lead. Unfortunately, Lillian is the only mana stone in this world with the ability to create magic power from within her body. The more she uses magic power, the more she loses her life. Truly a person carrying a death sentence within herself. Lillian excitedly thinks, "Let my life explode." Back to the present, Lillian really does not understand how her life turned out this way. While reminiscing, my wound has been healed. Her sister was happy to see that she had woken up. "Lillian, you have finally woken up." Her sister hugged Lillian tightly, saying repeatedly, "Thank God, thank you." Being hugged, she could only sigh helplessly. "Haze." Lillian hugged her sister tightly and scolded, "You silly sister. I do not understand why you find me cute, even though I climbed a tree alone to splash cold water on you and then fell. Not to mention I often pull your hair, trip you and once released a mouse into your room." Her sister was really happy that Lillian had recovered. She was so worried thinking you might be hurt. "Really thank you for waking up, Lily." Being hugged by her sister, Lillian could feel the warmth. Her body was burning hot. Even while hugging, she was still taking care of me, and yet I hated such a good sister just for that reason. This place has a father, who is strong like a monster but has a cold personality, along with brothers who are no less powerful than father. My heart is filled with injustice, and suddenly I have a feeling of wanting to bother my sister. It is as if someone is instigating me. Is it because I transmigrated into the villain in this novel? Is it because I have to follow the content of the original story? Lillian suddenly burst into tears. Hic. Then she completely burst out crying, asking herself, "What should I do now?" She sobbed repeatedly. Hic, making her sister worried. "Lily, what is wrong all of a sudden? Are you still in a lot of pain? No matter how much I torment you, you are still only worried about me." According to the original story, I will be imprisoned by a mentally ill person created by the programmers. In addition, I am an artificial mana stone, so my vitality will gradually run out as I consume magic power. Her sister asked worriedly, "Lily, do you need me to call a doctor?" Lillian asked her sister, "We are just short-lived beings, what should we do now?" Suddenly she remembered something. "Wait, what if I do not let that happen? Okay, I will keep my life force, accumulate secret assets, and then escape to a warm and peaceful land in the south with my sister. Especially the male lead, the mentally ill person who likes to imprison others. I will not let him meet you even if it is just your shadow," Lillian determined. "Okay, let us try again. That was the firm decision I made last night." Lillian suddenly spoke up. "Ah, father." "What is that?" Lillian asked while pointing. Her father suddenly returned with a mysterious gift. Her father carried a child on his shoulder, explaining after leaving the castle to hunt monsters. Luckily I met you, Lillian Sergeyev. Then he threw the boy to the ground. Lillian was confused. A gift, but that is a person, he said. At your age people usually play with dolls. Those machine toys that commoners play with should be thrown away. While saying that, a terrifying killing intent radiated from his body, making her worried. Thinking again, what is wrong with mechanical toys? It is because in this world, because the Sergeyev ducal family is always cold due to the competition for the position of family head, Lillian, who had been isolated, had to choose mechanical magic to overcome her lonely days. But if you do not like me playing with mechanical things, should not you just give me a magic doll that nobles usually play with? Lillian really does not understand. Who would give a living person as a gift? She became helpless. Furthermore, her father just came back from a business trip and said it as if he just bought a teddy bear. She imagined the scene of her father bringing back a teddy bear and happily saying, "Daughter, father has brought a gift." Thinking of that, she felt a chill. Just imagining it gave her goosebumps. At this time she noticed the boy, but that doll, no, that boy. Lillian could not help but exclaim at the boy's beauty. The hair color is very rare here, as beautiful as a doll. Suddenly she remembered something. Wait, golden eyes and black hair. Lillian spoke up, "Hey little boy, what is your name?" Before the boy could speak, her father stood behind with a gloomy expression, ordering the boy answer. The boy was startled after hearing that. Gritting his teeth, he said, simply Eden. The boy said again, "No surname, just Eden." Hearing this, Lillian could not believe it, covering her mouth and stepping back in fear. Who Huck, she could now confirm, it is as I thought. The male lead and the Devil King's lover. The mentally ill person and the emperor who imprisons others. The illegitimate child abandoned by the empress from birth, unable to die, ultimately had to survive. An unfortunate character living in the slums. But the slums where he used to wander as a child are actually. Thinking about it, in this post-apocalyptic world, the Sergeyev territory is adjacent to the monster-infested area, so security must be worse. It is the perfect place for those perverted developers to throw a child like the male lead. Lillian looked at Eden and scolded helplessly. But that is too much. Clearly, the original story did not say that the male lead and she met each other when they were young. At this time she suddenly thought of something. Wait, thinking carefully. A line of dialogue from her sister in the original story. Her sister said while crying, "The emperor has burned our homeland to the ground. Now we have nowhere to return." Lillian, she remembered, there is indeed a line like that. Lillian pursed her lips in fear. If the reason for burning down an entire peaceful land is not just obsession, but also because of a grudge from when he was young, then what? Standing in front of her majestic father, Lillian happily said, "I am already grown up. Now I am too old to play with dolls. Why do not we let the doll return to where it belongs?" He asked just one question. "You refuse?" She did not dare to look him in the eye and answered, "Yes, that room is already full of things." He said without caring, "It is yours from now on. If you want to throw it away, do it yourself." Hearing this, Lillian broke out in a cold sweat and forced a smile. Ah, throw it away, she thought to herself. A human being is no different from an object. Moreover, the throwing away that father mentioned is throwing him into the forest full of monsters for them to eat, right? Eden is the one who will become the hero who saves the world in the future. So if he dies here, the whole world will perish with him. Lillian decided, absolutely will not let that happen. He suddenly clicked his tongue. Then looked at Eden and said, "Father still needs to use his hands to throw away an object, right?" He held out his hand, "Give him to me." Thinking that he was going to do something bad to Eden, she decided, "Who can't let this happen, damn it. There is no other way in this situation." Lillian went up and hugged Eden's cheeks, saying, "No father, looking again I see that I really like this doll." The lie was uttered. Whoa, so cute and lovely. Thank you father, I will play with it happily." Lillian wanted to cry and introduced, "And nice to meet you doll, I am Lillian." "He is scared," Eden said uncomfortably. "Lillian," she silently prayed, "please help me a little." Eden. Her father suddenly spoke up, "A doll must call its owner master." Eden squeezed his swollen face uncomfortably and called master. Lillian cried in her heart, "Oh, I see it. I see my name being engraved in the book of life and death. First I have to get out of here." She grabbed Eden's hand and said, "Hey doll, let us play house." "Father, is that okay?" Lillian decided, "I have to apologize and find a way to release him." Her father did not care much and said, "Whatever." Seeing him leave, she could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. Phew, thank goodness. After seeing him leave, Eden also uncomfortably shook off Lillian's hand. "Let go." She suddenly put her hand on Eden's shoulder and said, "Hey you." Lillian blamed, "Why did you let my father catch you? You should have known the way to avoid him." Eden was suddenly asked like that and uncomfortably avoided her. What nonsense are you talking about? You were the one who said you would play house with me." Seeing Eden so sensitive, Lillian could not help but imagine a cat. Eden said words that no one could have imagined. "Or are you planning to tear off my arms like breaking off dragonfly wings? Or do you want to hang me upside down and watch me be hunted by monsters? Eden's words made Lillian unexpectedly step back. What are you thinking I am? Suddenly she came up and grabbed Eden's shirt, calling, "Hey." Then whispered, "I do not intend to play with you right now. Just pretended to make my father happy." Lillian spoke out her decision. "Listen, I will take you out of this territory." Hearing this, Eden's face darkened. "You mean to abandon me? It is always like this in the end." He turned away. "Anyway, I did not hope to stay long in this luxurious place. The fickle nature of the nobles." Lillian cried in her heart. "What do you want me to do?" Suddenly she spoke up to stop him. "Wait, who said I would throw you out? Don't worry, I will take you to a safe place." Eden did not believe it, a safe place where Lillian affirmed there is. She opened her arms and said, "Not the slums, not our city, and not a place to run away from monsters." Hearing this, Eden did not say a word, making Lillian realize. He does not believe it at all. Anyway, the inside of the empire is not as bad as this border area. Going deep into the capital is possible to live peacefully. Lillian let Eden understand. This city looks flashy on the outside but is actually just a den of madmen. If this cute doll is caught by my family. Lillian hugged her head gloomily. The only thing is that we have never left this territory. Suddenly her sister spoke up. "Oh no, Lily. You just woke up and you are already running around like this. How can you rest?" Lillian was startled when she heard her sister's voice. Her sister scolded, "You just woke up, why do not you rest?" Seeing her sister, Lillian stammered and called sister. She worried, this is not good. If the two of them meet at this time then. Eden did not change his expression when he saw Lillian's sister. Her sister opened her arms and suggested to Lillian, "Let us go back to the room and sleep with sister." What Lillian was worried about was, if Eden meets my sister, he will fall in love immediately. She shouted to stop her, "No, do not come here." While saying that, she hugged Eden, making him uncomfortable. "What is wrong? Let me go." Her sister looked at Lillian's actions and called confused, "Lily," she was determined. "Must prevent Eden from meeting my sister." Her sister came up at this time and asked, "Oh my, who is this child? Why are you hugging him so tightly?" Lillian stammered, He is. This guy will be the one who imprisons my sister in the near future." Lillian declared, "He is my doll." Her sister was a little shocked after hearing that. "What, a doll? This is a person," she affirmed. "That is right, it is a person." Lillian was confused. "I do not understand why, under the guidance of father, she would say these normal words. How strange." Eden was being hugged tightly by Lillian and kept frowning. Let go." Her sister was interested. If he is Lily's friend, then sister can also get acquainted a little. "Can I greet him for a moment?" Lillian stopped her. "Do not, father gave him to me exclusively." She worried, "Oh, it is too close. If she sees his face, it is over." Lillian put on a spoiled appearance. "He is my doll only. Do not look at Lily's things. This is mine, only I can play with it." Hearing Lillian say that, her sister could only call helplessly, "Lily." Lillian was secretly happy. "For the past 12 years I have trained my rudeness and stubbornness. It is really timely to use it, although it is a bit embarrassing." Lillian hugged Eden tightly and ran away. In her heart she could not help but apologize. "Sorry sister, it is all for you," she said to her sister. "I am going back to my room. Do not follow me, I am going to play house with my doll alone." Her sister called back Lillian. After running for a while, the two stopped. Eden pushed Lillian away and scolded, "What, and you too? What is with just playing and dragging me away like that?" Lillian put on an upright appearance at this time. "Sorry, I have a good reason. It is all for my sister's future." Eden showed an uncomfortable face and warned, "Do not touch me again." She was also made uncomfortable and said honestly, "I do not want to touch you either." She declared in short, "Until I find a way to get you out of here." Eden did not understand why. She put on a thoughtful look and replied, "If my brothers happen to see you, it will be even more troublesome." At this time a sound rang out, again making a fuss. Eden and Lillian looked back together after hearing that sound. "She is the housekeeper of the Surgeoneb ducal family. Olga, this person is the head of the maids, Olga." Seeing Olga, Lillian broke out in a cold sweat. Olga scolded Lillian. Could it be that the young lady brought a man into her room early in the morning? Olga showed contempt on her face, as expected of the daughter of a sinner. Lillian stood up to shield Eden. "This is the friend that father gave me." Olga lifted her glasses in confusion. "Friend? Does the young lady know how to make friends? The one who always tries to harass her only sister." Suddenly Olga sneered contemptuously. "Ah, right, the young lady said she was given him, right, as expected of the daughter of a sinful woman who lived a lonely life until she died." Lillian was made so angry by Olga. "Always daughter of a sinner, sinful woman. I am tired of hearing it. My mother used to work in the royal palace. When she returned to her husband's house, she brought with her the maids from the palace, including Olga, who is now the head of the maids. Although this northern land is harsh and lonely, thanks to the help of the maids who followed, my mother still lived well in the first few years. A harsh environment, the Duke did not care about her. My mother had a mental breakdown, then for some unknown reason, She tried to harm the maids who followed her but failed. And finally, ended her own life because she was tired of living. Now she is starting to pour all her anger on her daughter, who is me. The servants despise Lillian. Today the young lady is eating and drinking messily again like a piglet. The daughter of a mother is no less messy. Now young lady, quickly lift up your skirt. Lillian's legs were beaten by the servants until they bled. She sat on the bed uncomfortably. Even if they were angry and made me hurt so much, I still thought it was all because they cared about me now that mother is gone. The only people I can rely on are Olga and the maids. Lillian sadly misses her mother. I miss you. Before that, her mother had told Lillian, remember my words, Lillian. Even your father, your brothers. No one is trustworthy except for me and my maids. Do you understand? Even Eloise is just a fake. Only we really care about you. A cold father who never paid attention to me. The people in the city always only cared about the sick sister. Every time I was hurt by their indifference, I would think about my mother's teachings. The servants always targeted her and criticized her. That is why we are teaching the young lady, now that the lady is no longer here. If it were not for the maids, I would. Lillian showed an uncomfortable face, so angry. Looking at Olga, Lillian could not help but think, remembering that in my previous life these people were truly masters of psychological manipulation. Olga saw Lillian looking at her like that and scolded. What are you staring at? It is not the young lady's style. She was uncomfortable. No matter how indifferent father is, I did not expect them to dare to say those words to me. Olga asked, but hey, what fun game are you playing again today? Lillian was surprised by that question. What? She understood the fun game that Olga mentioned must be. Immediately ran forward. No way. Lillian looked at the things on the table, the pile of machine parts on my table. All disappeared. Lillian angrily scolded. I said do not touch my table, Olga argued. There are such terrible things in the young lady's room. It is the duty of a servant like me to clean them up. Looking at the pile of parts lying in the trash can, Lillian could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. Trash can. Thankfully they have not been thrown away completely. Found them before they were thrown away. Lillian went up and hugged those things in her arms in a pampering way. Rossi is not just an ordinary machine but a work that I put all my love into. As long as I complete the circuit and transmit the power, Rossi will be my eyes and ears, flying in the free sky for me. And yet she dares, Lillian raised her voice. I told you not to touch Rossi. Olga saw that she dared to talk back and took a ruler to hit her leg. Daring to raise your voice to an adult just because of a cheap toy, it seems I have to teach the young lady today. Lillian became worried, so terrified. Being manipulated from a young age is so scary. Even though I do not have a child's soul anymore, I am still afraid of her. How could I think that they would replace my mother for me? Olga stepped forward and ordered, quickly kneel down. Lillian put Rossi on the table and resisted. No, that is right, no matter how bad my reputation is, I am still the young lady of the Surgenev family. Olga was surprised by Lillian's attitude. What did the young lady just say? Lillian asked the question. Why do I have to kneel before you? Lillian declared loudly. I am the young lady. Olga could not help but laugh after hearing that, Lillian remembered what they have done to me all this time. Is not teaching but abuse. I kept clinging to them because I was afraid to admit it because it meant that I was only left alone. But I am different now, I am Shin Yuna. Life is living alone. Seeing Lillian change made Olga worried. What is wrong with her today? Is she as crazy as her mother? Although it is a bit strange if I force her more, she will probably be like before. Olga stepped forward and called, young lady. Have you lost your mind? Olga tried to show her majesty with the aim of making Lillian afraid. Seeing Olga standing in front of her made Lillian worried. Too big, bigger than a normal man. She tightened her skirt to reassure herself. Calm down, taking a step back is the end. Lillian spoke up and asked. Now you do not listen to me, even though I am the young lady. Lillian declared loudly. I will tell father everything. Olga could not help but laugh after hearing this. The young lady said so. To that duke you dare. Lillian sank into thought. I used to think so too. Lillian sneered and asked, Olga, what do you guarantee? Suddenly she pointed towards Eden. Look here. Lillian suddenly pulled Eden over and praised, although he is a bit dirty. Have you ever seen anyone as beautiful as this? Father gave him to me. Eden was surprised by Lillian's actions. Lillian whispered in Eden's ear. Cooperate a little. Then I will help you. Do not you want to escape from here? Eden reluctantly cooperated after hearing this. Seeing Eden like that made Lillian satisfied. That is right. If I live you will live too, right? Olga was confused. So what if you think so? Lillian touched Eden's face triumphantly. You still think father does not care about me? Look here, Olga. Look closely at the male lead's handsome face. Olga did not say a word after hearing this, making Lillian triumphant. Success. Although in reality it was just a coincidence that father gave Ethan to me. But does the truth matter? I will win by lying and deceiving. Thinking that Olga would know better and retreat. But no, she gritted her teeth and spoke up. After a few days of being weak, the young lady has become much bolder, I am very happy to see the young lady grow up like this, so now the young lady probably does not need these cheap toys anymore, right? While saying that, Olga took something out, making Lillian surprised to realize that, although it is not finished, it is the most important part of Rossi. The heart circuit. Threatening people with Rossi's heart. Lillian said seriously, give it here, that thing. Olga gave a condition: if you promise not to bother the family head anymore, I will give it to you. Lillian could not help but after hearing this. Then tried to endure it, Lillian Sergeyev. Like before, even if you scream and struggle in frustration, you won't get anything back. Quietly collect evidence and wait for the opportunity. Because now I am Shin Yuna, the one who waited for 10 years to reclaim her parents' assets. So first, let us get back Rossi's heart, Lillian wondered. Promise to forgive and she will return it, right? Olga replied uncertainly, maybe. Lillian thought and urged herself. Okay, what does it matter to Neil once? But hey Olga, remember this, there will come a day when I will make you pay, just wait. Seeing Lillian about to kneel, Eden pulled her back to stop her. What are you doing? Eden blamed Lillian. Do not you have any self-esteem? Aren't nobles all very arrogant? Seeing Eden act like that, Lillian blamed. What are you doing? You almost fell, Eden advised. Are you going to give up without even trying to fight once? Lillian was surprised by that statement. Eden pointed towards Olga and said, even though she is an adult, she does not have any weapons. Do something. Lillian was confused. What are you talking about? Seeing Lillian still being stupid, Eden quickly stepped forward to demonstrate. Like this, do it like this. Here, just like this. While saying that, Eden kicked Olga's leg hard, making Lillian surprised. What, Eden? Eden breathed out a sigh, his face full of arrogance. See, it is not that scary at all. Lillian hugged her head, wanting to cry. You caused a big problem without warning. Olga suddenly screamed in pain after being kicked in the leg. What are you doing? Lillian went to grab Eden's hand to stop him. Are you crazy? Come here and let me handle it myself. Eden blamed. Why did you kneel before even fighting? Do you want to die so easily? Lillian was confused. What are you saying? Who is dying? Suddenly she remembered. All right, in the lawless land of the north there is a saying that kneeling is death. If you voluntarily admit defeat and kneel, you will be allowed to die peacefully. So when I said I would kneel, you got angry like that. Olga came up wanting to hit Eden. This poor kid, I will make you regret it. Seeing her coming, Lillian stood up to stop her. Stop it, Olga. Lillian was determined. Do not touch this child, Olga. You may not know, but this child will one day burn the entire territory to take revenge on the Sergeyev family. Do not provoke him to make him even more evil. Olga held up Rossi's heart triumphantly and asked, it seems like you do not mind if things go too far. Lillian stopped her. No, it won't do if that thing is damaged even a little bit. She angrily cursed in her heart. That lowly guy. Lillian spoke up. You think I will always be a weak child? You are the one who will regret it. Olga did not care. Sounds scary. There is going to be a succession war soon, you know. While saying that, Olga looked at Lillian and smiled. The Sergeyev family's secret sword technique will become stronger by absorbing the power of the heir to the bloodline. To win it, all descendants of the Sergeyev family must participate in the succession war when they grow up. The only one who survives will be taught that sword technique. Perhaps in our generation, the winner will be the eldest brother Edward, a sword genius on par with father. Or the second brother Lawrence, with talents that are not inferior at all. The loser will become a sacrifice for the winner. Of course, there are exceptions in this bloody battle. Because she has no talent for swordsmanship and is in poor health, her chances of survival are higher. There is nothing for the winner to take from her. Once the succession war begins, it is as good as dead. Either way, if I can't escape before the coming-of-age ceremony, a bad ending is inevitable. Olga pushed Lillian away, not answering. It seems you know your situation well. Just stand still and wait in that corner for now. Lillian was pushed away and shouted in pain. Confused. Why is this guy so strong? Coming in front of Eden, Olga spoke up. I have to teach this rebellious kid a lesson. Lillian wanted to stop her. Do not provoke Eden. Olga waved her hand. I will let you know the consequences of daring to oppose adults. When Olga was about to slap Eden, Lillian rushed to push Eden away. I told you not to touch him. Olga's large hand was about to hit her. Lillian closed her eyes and endured. Okay, it is better for me to take the hit for Eden. After a while, Lillian did not see anything happening. Then slowly opened her eyes to look. What is it? It is like there was an explosion. At this time she saw Olga lying on the ground. What is going on? Why is Olga there? Looking so pathetic. Lillian was curious. Suddenly exploded with colorful light fragments. Could it be? She wondered, how many days of life did this cost? A week? 10 days? Suddenly Eden came up and spoke. You just now. Seeing Eden, Lillian was surprised. Oops, Eden saw everything. Eden asked seriously, you just used magic? She denied. No way. Eden did not believe it. What do you mean no? You just exploded and blew her away. Are you a mage? Lillian put her hand over Eden's mouth. No. Shoo, you so wrong. How could it be? How could a stupid kid like me know magic? That is something that only talented people in the academy can use. Lillian was worried. It would be dangerous if I am discovered to have magic power at this time. Eden wondered, then what was the explosion just now? Lillian quickly made up a reason. That was just static electricity. The weather has been dry recently. Eden refused to believe. Do not joke. What kind of static electricity is that big? Lillian insisted. The Surgenev mansion has it. What else? Lillian was helpless. Forget it. Why are you arguing so much? At this time Eloise's voice rang out. Lily, it is me, Eloise. Hearing Eloise's voice made Lillian surprised. Sister, another challenge. Why did you come at this time? Eloise said from outside. Can you open the door a little? I saw you look strange just now. I am very worried. Lillian turned away. No way. Right now, she looked at the unconscious Olga. Then looked back at Eden standing there. She panicked. All things that she can't let her sister see. Eloise called again. Lily, are you in there? A sound came from inside. Lillian was at a loss and did not know what to do. What should I do? What should I do now? Eloise asked again. Is it that you do not want to talk to me? Lillian ran out and said, no, I am here. I do not want to become an even worse person in your eyes. Eloise asked, you do not want to open the door for me? Lillian was flustered. It is a bit difficult right now. Eloise sympathized with Lillian after hearing that. I understand, then can you listen to me from there? Lillian said after hearing that. Tell me. Eloise said, if I really gave you a friend, I would also be happy for you. There is no one your age here, so you have never had a friend, right? Although friends are not something that can be given as a gift. Lillian worried. I just spoke carelessly because I did not want you to meet him. That made you concerned, right? Eloise said again. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, always just lying on the bed, I can't take care of you properly. While saying that, Eloise leaned against the door, making Lillian worried and hurriedly said, what do you have to apologize for? I am the one who has been acting badly all along. Why are you apologizing? Lillian denied. What you do on the bed because of your illness is not your fault. Do not apologize. Eloise was overjoyed after hearing that. Thank you for saying that, Lily. I am really happy. Lillian was secretly happy. Even though I always bully you, just that one sentence makes you so happy. Sorry sister, but now if Olga wakes up, everything will be even worse. Lillian shouted out. Anyway, if you came to apologize, then you do not need to. Eloise paused after hearing this. Lillian said, for later, I will come to your room. If I have to apologize, then that person must be me. Eloise agreed brightly, Then said, okay, I will wait. Eden had been paying attention to Lillian's reaction without saying a word from just now. She started sweeping everything around. Oh God, how many days of my life were lost because of this? Cleaning up these things myself just makes me want to cry blood. But cleaning up the mess is done. But what about Olga? If she finds out that I did it, she will definitely tell father when she wakes up. Lillian went up and kicked Olga to vent her anger. Who told her to always bully us? Seeing Olga unconscious like that, Lillian hesitated. It seems she has fainted and still has not woken up. Was the shock too strong? Should I take this opportunity to hit her a few more times to feel better? Suddenly Eden appeared behind her and asked, could it be that she is dead? Do you want me to tell you how to dispose of a corpse? Eden's words surprised her. What are you saying? She is clearly breathing. Eden explained, but she was hit by magic directly. Lillian said, hey, watch your words. I told you I do not know how to use magic. Eden really could not understand Lillian. You are so strange. You clearly know it, but you say you do not know it. Magic power is an extremely rare ability. Lillian also knows this, but the problem is that it is a monster that devours my life. Oh well, that is my business, and you can hardly understand if that is the case. Lillian put her arm around Eden's shoulder and said, listen carefully, Eden. You also saw that this house is really a den of lunatics. Even the housekeeper does not respect anyone. And the brothers that you have not met are even crazier. But what if I am misunderstood to be a magic genius and sent to the academy? Do you think you can escape safely from this place alone? So, this is a secret that must be kept secret for you too. Understand? Lillian pointed towards Eden and reminded him once again, even if you are bullied by someone like Olga, no one will come to help. Do you understand my meaning? Eden did not say a word after hearing that. He sighed and replied, okay, if you say so then let it be. Yeah, you are not a mage. Lillian breathed a sigh of relief after hearing that. It is a good thing you know that. In the original story he was described as someone with emotional dysregulation, emotionless. It is worrying. Luckily I retrieved Rossi's blueprints from Olga's hands. Now I just need to fool Olga again and it is done. But is there a way? Suddenly Lillian thought of a way. If I use that method. Seeing Lillian holding a hammer in her hand made Eden confused. What are you going to do with that thing? Lillian swung the hammer and decided, now this method is the most optimal. At this time Olga also woke up. Oh my head, seeing Lillian and Eden unconscious. She panicked. What is this? What just happened? Olga remembered. What exactly did that kid do in the end? I do not know what she did, but I will definitely not spare her. I have to report it to the Duke. Olga turned to look at herself in the mirror and shouted in fear, my head, my head. At this time she stepped on a piece of glass on the ground. She panicked. These are fragments of that metal puppet. Could it be that this is why I ended up like this? This trivial toy finally caused a disaster. While saying that, Olga stomped on those things to vent her anger. Olga screamed, my head has become like this, what should I do, triple? Seeing Olga's reaction, Lillian also breathed a sigh of relief. Phew, luckily, she did not think that I was the culprit. Before that, Lillian had told Eden, quickly lie down and pretend to sleep, Eden, although he did not cooperate at all, but Eden was willing to help, thankfully. Olga opened the door and ran out. I should have destroyed that thing earlier. Lillian was secretly happy, but luckily I still kept the heart circuit safe. Eden suddenly spoke up and asked, is it over? Lillian sighed and replied, yeah, phew. The next morning, Lillian yawned a long yawn. The basic situation has been resolved. Now I have to quickly make a plan to get Ethan out of here as soon as possible, although I was very tired yesterday. Even if I just take him out of the territory, he can still take care of himself, but I wonder if there is a better way. Lillian decided, okay. Suddenly hearing a loud noise made Lillian angry. It is really annoying, the hunting festival is coming soon, but they are already practicing so loudly like this early in the morning. That is not as important as my future right now. Suddenly Lillian paused and remembered, wait, the hunting festival. Because it is an annual event, people usually use the teleportation gate instead of carriages to get to the venue. Lillian clenched her fists and decided, I can definitely do it. At this time a boy entered. This boy is Lawrence Surgeneb, the second young master of the Surgeneb family. Lawrence was uncomfortable, so unlucky to meet her early in the morning. Lillian also showed an uncomfortable face and cursed silently. Who wants to listen to your words? Lawrence sat down and said, anyway, I was going to find you, but it is good to meet you here. Lawrence's eyes showed cruelty as he asked, I heard that the kid is planning to harass her again. Lillian turned away and denied, there is no such thing. Did the rumors reach you so quickly? Lawrence spoke up. I heard that you were going to bully her again, so you climbed up the tree. Even though you fell on your own and did not get punished, but the result is that she is fine, but I am lying down for 3 days. In the past, if I intended to pour cold water on others, I would have forgotten it. Then she would scold me for not caring about my health and throw a plate at me. Lawrence warned, I have warned you, right? If you continue to bully her, I will not let it go, kid. This time I will not let you off. Lillian lowered her head and apologized after hearing this. I admit I have behaved very badly, and I apologized to her yesterday. Lawrence did not say a word after hearing that. Then he suspected, what trick are you playing again that you suddenly know how to repent like this? Lawrence's words made Lillian furious. Hey, if someone has already apologized, you should be generous. Suddenly the housekeeper came in to announce, the Grand Duke has just returned. Lawrence was surprised after hearing this. What, father has returned? Lillian was no less surprised. He just went out to eliminate the Death Dragon yesterday. Both thought, father defeated the Death Dragon in just 1 day. The Duke quickly completed the mission to eliminate the dragon. He ordered the knight, the wings and tail have been separated. Now call the technicians to perform surgery on the rest. The knight quickly replied, yes, your grace. Lawrence could not help but exclaim, father defeated the Death Dragon in less than a day. As expected of my father. Lillian was also surprised, oh my god. It is said that from the wings to the tendons of that dragon-shaped monster are worth gold coins. I wonder how much that is worth. Seeing Lillian's eyes light up, Lawrence kindly reminded, hey, your drool is dripping. Lillian pondered, if I give Rossi the heart of this dragon, I can use it as a great source of power. I want it so much. At this time the Duke looked up. Seeing the Duke look towards this side made Lillian panic. What is it? Just now, Lillian hid behind Lawrence, making him confused. What are you doing? Lillian quickly made up a reason. No, the sunlight suddenly made my eyes hurt. I just made eye contact with father, right? The Duke turned away at this time, making Lillian wonder, or did I see wrong? That afternoon, the table was full of food. Lillian thought while eating, I thought father and brother Edward would rush into battle again, immediately because they are crazy about fighting. But suddenly there is a family meal like this. Lillian glanced at the Duke worriedly. What is father planning? The Duke spoke up, today I called you all here because I want to see the results of your training over the past time. Lillian was startled after hearing this. What's so sudden? Of the Surgeneb house, one must demonstrate their skills before the family head once a year. Lillian raised her hand to speak, father, but there is still a month left. Lawrence ate while scolding Lillian. You think just 1 more month of training can turn a fool into a genius? She was angry, he is causing trouble again. At this time another child of the Duke also spoke up, instead of doing troublesome procedures, should not we fight for the position right now, even if there are a few more years? The succession situation will not change. Lillian worried, fighting for the succession right now, is not that telling me to kill Lawrence and myself right now? Lillian could not help but exclaim, truly the children of a crazy family. The Duke declared, until Lillian and everyone else grow up, there will be no succession war. That person quickly apologized. Yes, I apologize for saying unnecessary words. Lillian breathed a sigh of relief today. I am really lucky that father is so stubborn. Suddenly he spoke up, I feel like there are a few useless rice buckets in this family, so I said that. His words startled Lawrence. Lillian looked towards Lawrence and thought, I do not want to fight, so it is okay. But Lawrence must be under a lot of pressure. It is getting closer and closer to the time to face that monster brother. He probably only sees a future full of nightmares anyway. Even if it is uncomfortable, I feel sorry for him. No, I have to take care of myself first. Lillian spoke up and asked, Father, what will the challenge be? She was determined. First I need to overcome this challenge. The Surgeoneb family is famous for swordsmanship. But fortunately the challenge to choose an heir does not require only swordsmanship. You can use magic or mechanical magic as long as you show your ability. Lillian worried, Rossi is not yet familiar with complex battles, so it would be good if it was just a simple challenge. The Duke spoke up that. I will announce it when the challenge takes place. Gather at the martial arts field in 1 hour. Everyone was silent after hearing that. After a while after eating, Lillian ran away quickly. Only 1 hour. I saw something strange when father suddenly called us to dinner. Will I have time to upgrade Rossi in this short period of time? And also being sabotaged by Olga, making the latest version ruined. Suddenly Eden called, hey. But Lillian did not care and only focused on her work. But luckily, I just came up with a new idea. Adding a new gear at joint 17. Suddenly Eden spoke up, Master. Then handed the tool to Lillian. Here, seeing that it was Eden, Lillian quickly thanked. It is Eden, sorry I am too busy. Eden said uncomfortably, how busy can you be? Do you know how many times I have called you? Lillian pointed to herself and asked again, wait, what did you just call me? Eden replied, Master. A call of Master made Lillian panic, then reminded, do not call me that, it sounds weird. Eden crossed his arms and said, that is not the main problem. Do you think I am just a doll to keep in the room? Lillian was confused. What do you mean? Eden angrily repeated. Did not you promise to help me escape? But you abandoned me all day. Seeing Eden so cute, Lillian could not help but be happy. You called me because you were worried about that. When playing the game I never thought. In fact, that is not a personality trait, but a curse that prevents him from feeling emotions from birth. Looking at him being so emotional, the curse probably has not progressed much. Seeing Lillian keep thinking, Eden felt uncomfortable. What are you thinking about again? She kept staring at Eden, exclaiming, thankfully. Then she calmed herself down. Okay, I have to focus on the plan to get Eden out of here. Lillian spoke up and said, hey, calm down. Do you think helping you escape is easy? This place is so dangerous that no carriage dares to pass through. If you call a carriage here, they will panic and demand 10 times the danger money. But do not worry too much. This sister has a plan already. What I am doing now is all to prepare for that plan, so please trust me and wait a little longer. Eden asked after hearing this, if it is so difficult, why do you want to help me so much? Lillian smiled after hearing Eden's question and replied, when you grow up, remember to pay the debt, understand? Eden was surprised by Lillian's statement, grow up me. Lillian turned away and said, I also know a little about face reading, and looking at your face, you will be very successful in the future, so remember to repay me later. And remember to repay in cash, she thought. I said that to put him at ease. Now I have to go back to finish the improvement. Eden stood there silently after hearing this. Then turned away, deceitful. Lillian still did not know anything and hummed while completing Rossi. Really? Lillian sat down in a corner looking at Lillian. In the end, she is just a noble like everyone else. A voice suddenly rang out outside the room. Really? Is there going to be a competition again? Those two servants discussed with each other. Will that kid Lillian also participate? Of course she has to participate, otherwise. Last year, did not that kid fail to hunt even a small monster, to the point of getting angry and pulling her hair and crying? That was so funny at the time. This time, she might actually lose her life. Those words reached Eden's ears. At the central training square, Segreneb mansion, someone spoke up. Everyone is here, right? The test today given by the family head is. Seeing the sword, Edward's face was extremely smug. Lawrence was worried. Lillian was so scared that her mouth was wide open. This is a special replacement sword for hunting monsters, found from the battlefield of dragon extermination. The family head specially brought back this sealed stone to use for this test. Edward pulled out his sword and asked the steward, so I just need to pull out that sword anyway is fine. The steward announced, do not break the stone, pull it out with pure strength. Edward said confidently, too easy. Lillian could not believe it after hearing Edward say that, easy, pull out that sword with just strength. The Duke suddenly appeared and said, okay, try pulling it out. Hearing the Duke's voice, Lillian quickly turned back to look. When did father come? The Duke said, if you can do that. Even though I have prepared during the given time. But this is a test based entirely on physical strength. All my preparations are useless. Lawrence raised his hand wanting to go first. I will try first, father. Lillian was surprised. Lawrence. Although brother Lawrence is a genius, but the body of a 13-year-old child then. The Duke and Edward looked at Lawrence. Lawrence walked towards the sword. Take a deep breath. Seeing the sword move a little made Lillian surprised. It moved. If this continues, this year's winner might be Lawrence. While thinking, Lillian looked towards Edward. Lawrence on this side was pulling the sword with difficulty. Looking at Lawrence, Lillian wondered, success, did he succeed? But Lawrence seemed to have exhausted all his strength. Making Lillian surprised. So even for Lawrence it was too much. The Duke suddenly spoke up and said, go in. Lawrence begged. I can do it again, the Duke said bluntly. Wasting effort on useless things is just a waste. Go in. Next person. At this time Edward confidently stepped forward. Looking at the stone in front of him, he mocked Lawrence. Just a stone and you have already revealed your weakness. Lillian watched with wide eyes. It is Edward's turn. This is also my chance. Thinking, Lillian reached into her pocket wanting to take something out. She spoke up and called, Edward, Edward, wait a minute. Lillian thought, after recalling her previous life's memories, I realized one very important thing. She took the handkerchief and handed it to Edward. This is my handkerchief. Of course, with someone as strong as you, that definitely won't happen. Edward did not say anything after hearing this. Seeing Edward not say anything, Lillian called out, brother. Edward quickly brushed it off. Another useless trick. Lillian bent down to pick up the handkerchief and thought, oh well, you can't have good results right from the first time. Suddenly Lawrence appeared and said, you have never called me brother in my life. Lillian was confused. What? She was curious, what is wrong, is he jealous? Thinking, she quickly denied, of course not, no way. This time someone spoke up and said, let us start. Seeing Edward preparing to pull out the sword made Lillian wonder, will Edward be able to do it? Seeing the stone crack made Lillian surprised. One hand cracked the stone. Only 1 year older than Lawrence, but the strength is completely different. Edward's face was now furrowed. Then he used his hand to grip the sword tightly, making Lillian worried. If this continues, Edward will really. He pulled out the sword. Edward held the sword in his hand, making everyone proudly shout, young Master Edward did it. Edward stepped down from the stone a little disappointed, using both hands just to pull out a sword. The Duke praised from the side, also succeeded, give the sword over here. Lillian scratched her face wondering, Edward has pulled out the sword, so my turn will definitely be gone, right? Should I see that as luck? Suddenly the Duke planted the sword back into the stone, making Lillian and Lawrence surprised. Why did he plant the holy sword back into the stone? The Duke called Lillian. Lillian, it is your turn. Being called, she stammered, I then. Let alone Edward, I can't do it even with Lawrence. The Duke then criticized, so you are still as weak as ever this year. He announced, end of the test. Lillian looked at the sword planted on the stone and thought randomly, no matter how much I train my physical strength, I can't pull out that sword. I do not even have any talent for swordsmanship. How can those monsters pull and plant the sword so easily? Suddenly Lillian had an idea. Why do I only think about using physical strength? The important thing is to pull out that sword with strength. Lillian plugged Rossi's head into the sword hilt. That is right. From the beginning, my strength was not physical strength but mechanical magic. Can do it. 1. Even if it breaks down, do not let go of the sword handle. 2. Maintain the extended length until I order to stop. Lillian looked and analyzed. Work is the product of the force component in the direction of displacement and the magnitude of this displacement. If this world follows the same laws of physics as Earth, then the longer the distance, the stronger the force will be, helping to pull out the sword. Lillian decided. Use the silver sword as a sledgehammer to pull out a giant nail. Just a little more, she encouraged. Come on, Rossi. At this time Rossi successfully pulled the sword out of the stone, making Lillian overjoyed. It pulled it out. I did not expect to succeed, so the laws of physics here are no different from Earth. Lillian praised. Good job, Rossi, now return to the original state. Suddenly at this time a hand reached out and grabbed the sword, making Lillian panic. It turned out that the person holding the sword was Edward. Lillian was confused. Why is brother Edward here? Edward wondered, what are you doing? Edward noticed Rossi, and what is that strange thing? Suddenly Edward kicked Rossi out of the sword hilt, making Lillian surprised. Rossi. Lillian uncomfortably blamed Edward. What are you doing? Edward suddenly pointed the sword at Lillian's neck and ordered, stay still. Edward asked directly, hey, since when have you been parasitizing in Lillian's body? Lillian paused after hearing this. What are you suddenly saying? She thought in panic. What the hell? Could it be that he has discovered my identity? Edward bluntly revealed, from the moment you called that strange name, I did not feel right. Surely in a moment of carelessness, she was parasitized by a monster. Lillian was surprised. How? Why are you talking about a parasitic monster? Edward thinks that Lillian, that is, I hear, was eaten by a parasitic monster. Who would have thought that this Lillian has awakened her memories from her previous life and changed completely? Just one short day of acting a little differently. And he immediately recognized that there is another entity existing in the body. Lillian hurriedly stopped him. Do not make trouble with ridiculous reasons. You just do not like the fact that I pulled out the sword from Rossi, right? Edward suddenly asked. That ugly thing is Rossi. Anyway, there is no need to waste time lingering with monsters. Lillian cried in her heart and explained, "Wait, let me explain. If I explain in a scientific way, will he understand?" Lillian was scared. "Damn it, I am going to die." Suddenly at this time someone ran up, kicked the sword out of Edward's hand. Eden stood in front of Lillian and asked, "Hey, are you okay? Wake up." Lillian was surprised by Eden's appearance. "Eden, why are you here? I told you to stay in the room." Eden said, "Now is not the time to worry about that. Why are you just standing there taking the hit?" Lillian stammered, "Well, I am not as strong as you guys." Edward saw the two of them talking to each other without paying attention to him. So he spoke up, "Another damn brat." Hearing that voice, Lillian suddenly woke up. "Damn it, I forgot that Edward is still here." Eden uncomfortably scolded, "Humph, who is the damn one here?" Lillian turned back to stop Eden's foul mouth. Hey, no, that is not something you should confront." Eden bluntly declared, "Someone like him I can handle easily." Suddenly something happened to Eden, making Lillian worried. Edward was also confused. Edward exclaimed, "There are enough tricks." Lillian hurriedly stopped him. "Stop, do not touch Eden." Edward bluntly let Eden know, "That kid lives in a luxurious castle. She is not like a dirty, pitiful person like you." Eden remembered, "My first memory is a deep red color. The screams of people being eaten alive by monsters, and the desperate crying. I do not remember how I survived that scene. What is this kid, has he eaten monsters? Being chased by monsters, having nothing to eat, so I had to chew on monster corpses. If I was not being chased by monsters, I would be hunted by humans." Those people scolded Eden, "Unlucky, get out of here." But in fact, there is something more terrifying than monsters or humans. For me, dreaming about the future is a luxury. Suddenly Eden remembered what Lillian had said before. "You have a face that makes a career. I will take you out of here. Not the slums nor this castle, but a place where you are not chased by monsters." Eden did not believe it. "There is no such place." He hugged his heart painfully. "Shut up." That voice kept echoing in Eden's head. "No matter how much you struggle, you will be imprisoned forever." Eden angrily shouted, "Shut up." Seeing Eden like that, Lillian worriedly asked, "Why did you suddenly go blank? Are you okay? I will stop him." "You quickly run back to my room." Seeing Lillian in his consciousness, Eden called out, "Master." Edward's hand that was hit just now was still a little swollen. He raised his voice, "You two useless things are playing tricks again." Lillian quickly stood up to stop him. "Useless things? Don't call Eden that. Eden and I are not monsters or trash." Edward still did not care, still denying that "You are not a monster. Okay then, my useless sister. Then prove it to me, if there is human red, and not the monster's dark blood." Seeing the knife in Edward's hand, Lillian was a little scared. "This madman finally wants to see blood spill. It is all over. Edward is determined to kill me at all costs." Suddenly someone called out, making Lillian look over. "This voice is..." Lillian was surprised. "Sister, why did you come out here?" Eloise stammered, "It must be because my health is not good, so I woke up late. The exam must have ended, right?" Seeing Lillian hugging Eden tightly, Eloise was confused. "But Lillian, who are you hugging?" Before that, as soon as I heard her voice, I quickly hid. Edward ordered, "Lillian, bring him over here." She stopped him. "Brother, sister, do not pay attention to him. Why is everyone so concerned about him? No one but me has the right to care about him." "Got it." After saying that, Lillian thought triumphantly, "Good, taking advantage of her coming to mess everything up. I have to seize the opportunity to run." Edward's eyes suddenly became sharp. "I told you to bring him over here." Seeing that look from Edward made Lillian scared. Damn it. His eyes have turned to anger. Edward spoke up, "Okay, I will ignore the parasitic monster." Seeing that look from Edward made Lillian's body tremble. "But with such a murderous aura, my body can't move," Edward said again, still daring to keep something of unknown origin by your side. "What if it is contagious? Your body, which was originally going to become nutrients for me, dares to disregard it to the point of doing such a mess." Lillian was uncomfortable. "Contagious? You not only see me as a monster but also see Eden as a germ." Although I do not understand why Edward is so obsessed with Eden, but one thing is certain, I can't talk normally anymore. "If you continue to act so recklessly," Lillian spoke up and ordered, "Come back here, Rossi." Rossi lifted the entire stone after hearing that. Edward was also gradually approaching. Lillian decided, "I am not going to let you attack either." Lillian remembered when Edward found me just now. Rossi was thrown hard into the stone over there. Edward turned back to look in confusion after hearing this. "What trick are you playing again?" Lillian thought. "So if I summon Rossi right now?" Rossi brought the entire stone and smashed it hard into Edward's face, making Lillian excited, right on the spot. Hit. Edward was knocked back. Fell heavily to the ground. But Edward was hit to that extent and still nothing happened, making Lillian surprised. Damn it. He covered his body with an aura in an instant as expected. He is not an easy opponent. Anyway, I succeeded. Now I have to retreat quickly. Thinking, she quickly hugged Eden. Eden struggled after being hugged in an awkward position. "Hey, let go," Lillian warned. "Just be quiet and follow. I have to escape from here first." While preparing to leave, Lillian bumped into someone. Both fell heavily to the ground. Eden landed with his entire body, so he could not help but groan, "It hurts." Lillian was uncomfortable. Damn it, who is it at a time like this? Suddenly she touched something on the ground. She was very surprised. What is this? Fragments of magic power. Could it be that I unconsciously transferred magic power to Rossi? Lillian glanced around. The fragments were so small that even I did not notice. Eden probably did not notice either. Suddenly someone spoke up and called, "Young lady." The housekeeper repeated the count's order. "Please come with me, the family head wants to see you." Lillian was surprised. Right now the housekeeper confirmed, "That is right, young lady." She thought, if it were before, I would definitely be afraid and run away in all sorts of ways. But now, Lillian was overjoyed. "Thank you for coming to me, father, the one who is about to become my financial supporter." Lillian ordered Eden, "While I am meeting father, keep watch at the door." "Understand," Eden said after hearing that. "Take care of yourself." The housekeeper did not know what to say, seeing these two acting like kids. Lillian entered with a worried mind. "Father called me. I have arrived," she thought. "I thought father would call me to the library or the office." The Duke was soaking in the tub when Lillian arrived. He spoke up. "Oh, you have finally arrived, Lillian Sergenev. I heard that you pulled out the silver sword." Lillian replied immediately after hearing this. "Ah yes," she understood. "Father probably heard the report, so then." The Duke read the report and said, "Yet you secretly pulled out that sword in the end. How should I understand this situation?" The Duke's words made Lillian worried. "The pressure is too great," she reassured herself. "It is okay, do not be nervous." Lillian spoke up, but because it was unclear whether the challenge accepts all kinds of strength, or only limits physical strength, so I secretly experimented alone. And succeeded thanks to Rossi. This is my first work in mechanical magic. While saying that, Lillian showed Rossi to the Duke. He quickly denied, "Using those trivial toys, it does not sound good, Lillian." She hurriedly explained, "Father may not believe it, but if you apply the rules of natural law, it is entirely possible. Rossi is designed to extend and shorten according to my command, based on the ratio between the point of impact and the fulcrum. The value of potential energy is." Seeing the two people in front of her not understanding anything made Lillian quickly realize. Ruined. I accidentally fell into things that no one cares about again. "And this is just the beginning," Lillian declared to the Duke. "I will become a master of mechanical magic. Even though I do not have talent for swordsmanship, I will definitely help the family." The Duke did not say a word after hearing that. Then spoke up, "Tools are just the tools of the weak. Are you really going to bet your whole life on that trivial thing?" Lillian said gloomily, "I do not have a talent for swordsmanship. Even if I practice my whole life, I can't compare to Brother Eden or Brother Lawrence. So I will use anything, whether tools or techniques, to create my own path. I do not want to rush into hopeless battles. I would rather be despised as a loser than die meaninglessly." After those words, the Duke only replied with one sentence, still as pitiful as ever. Indeed, from birth he had extraordinary talent for swordsmanship, became the family head of Sergenev, because he had protected the empire with his strength all his life. But Lillian clenched her fists and determinedly called, "Father. Times are changing. The time will come when mechanical magic will create a revolution. At that time, those who cannot adapt to new tools will become losers. I am sure of it." The Duke accepted after hearing this, "But I will consider that you have passed the challenge. The reward will also be given according to the regulations." He ordered the housekeeper, "Jirito, give the young lady 100 gold coins." Lillian was overjoyed after hearing this. "I succeeded. With these 100 gold coins, I can continue my research." Suddenly Lillian raised her hand to speak. "The dead dragon. Will I also receive the reward of the heart of the dead dragon as promised?" The Duke did not say anything after hearing this. The housekeeper was also a little worried for Lillian. Seeing the attitude of both of them made Lillian worried. Was my request a bit too much? They probably won't cancel the 100 gold coins that they were going to give me, right? Suddenly the Duke ordered, "Jirito, give the heart to the young lady." The housekeeper was surprised by the order. "Your Grace." Lillian also could not believe it. "I succeeded." She smiled brightly. "Thank you, Father," then thought to herself, "Thanks to it I can upgrade Rossi." He said after hearing that, "Thank you, let us see. A reward that is too big is sometimes a punishment." Hearing the Duke say that made Lillian worried. A test. The Duke ordered, "Jirito, open the box." The steward obeyed. "Yes, family head." The box opened. Inside was a black heart. "Something about the heart," urged Lillian. She remembered her aunt's words, "Should have scratched your cousin's face." Lillian could only helplessly call out at that time, "Aunt. But he bullied me first," she shouted. "Shut up, you brat. When did you learn to hang on other people's heads?" At school there were also people who talked about her. Shin Yuna, the one who only studies even during break time. Her level is too high, so talking to us is probably not interesting. Oh well, she is also someone who eats and lives in her relative's house. At that time she could only tell herself, "It is okay, I am okay. Other people's concern or feelings, I do not need them." At the same time, she immersed herself in a game. Seeing Lillian just standing there blankly, the Duke called worriedly, "Lillian Sergeyev." She woke up at this time with tears in her eyes. "Father." She did not understand. "Clearly I was still in front of me just now. I was looking in the dragon's heart." Lillian asked, What happened to me?" The Duke explained, "The dead dragon can drag out negative emotions from deep within people. It drowns the opponent in despair with illusions and powerful hypnosis." Lillian quickly understood. "Ah." The Duke continued, "Its demonic energy is still very strong in the heart even after death. For that reason, the heart of the dead dragon is very dangerous. It seems that thing is still too much for you. I will take back the heart." Lillian immediately stopped him. "No, father." Lillian remembered that memory, thinking it was a terrifying nightmare from her previous life. Who knew it was just an illusion created by the dragon's demonic energy? Just because of a nightmare. She wiped away her tears and affirmed, "I am okay. So please give me the heart as promised." Seeing Lillian being so persistent, the Duke could not help but exclaim, "It is crazy to be greedy for something I can't stand. Do not you know that?" Lillian took the box from the steward's hand and replied firmly, "No, I can endure it. All danger is my responsibility. The next time we meet, I guarantee that I will not waste your time. You can look forward to it." Then Lillian left, leaving the Duke and steward watching her. The steward worriedly asked, "What should we do then, sir? Should we send someone to monitor the young lady for a while?" The Duke stopped him. "No need. The child has decided. The responsibility belongs to herself." The steward obeyed. "Understood, sir." Also, when there was a conflict between young Lady Lillian and young Master Edward, he protected the young lady. The Duke seemed satisfied after hearing this. "Really, it seems that the bond is forming properly. Anyway, he will die soon." On this side, a voice rang out mocking Lillian. "Really? That useless Lillian passed the test." Another person affirmed, "That is right. Even if it is just luck, it is still considered passing, so she also received a reward. I heard she took that very fancy box into her room and hugged it tightly." One of them suggested, "Hey, why do not we share some of that money? She has never given us anything." Others agreed, "Oh, that is a good idea." This kid sneered triumphantly, "And in there we will put dead mouse." The other kids cheered with interest after hearing this. "Haha, you are really crazy. Imagine her opening it and seeing a dead mouse instead of gold coins. That would be so fun." At this time in Lillian's room, someone opened the door. When Lillian was fast asleep on the bed, those kids discovered what Lillian received from the Duke. "Oh, this is it. It looks really expensive." "Then we will take it." He just opened it and only saw a black heart. He was confused. What is this? Not gold coins." Suddenly he screamed in pain. Ugh. Save, ugh." The other kids panicked. "What is wrong, Mason? What is wrong with you?" Suddenly someone grabbed Mason's nape, then lifted him up high, making him scream in pain. The remaining kids went up to stop Eden. Who are you, you bastard? Let Mason go." "Is not that the doll of that little girl? Why is he here?" Eden knocked Mason unconscious and threw him hard at the remaining kids, causing them to scream in fear. Eden rushed up wanting to punch one of them. They shouted, "Help!" Lillian, who was sleeping, was also awakened by the noise. "What is so noisy?" she quickly realized. This is." Eden was punching those kids non-stop at this time. Lillian hurriedly stopped him. "Hey, stop it." She swung her knee and asked, Who are you guys?" Suddenly she went blank. What the hell?" A kid raised his hand and begged, "Why, young lady, please spare us." She immediately recognized those people. "Are not these the servants who bully me? I seem to understand part of this. They probably wanted to play a prank on me, but Eden caught them." Eden was still hitting non-stop at this time, making Lillian worried. "Oh God, Eden has gone this far." She went up to stop him. "Hey, stop it, otherwise we will really die." Suddenly Eden pushed her hand away. His whole body trembled, sweating profusely, saying, "Do not touch me." Seeing Eden's pale face made Lillian confused. "What, you were the one who dared to hit them?" He is usually already sensitive, but now he is reacting so much. Why? As if he is afraid of being touched. "If I am not mistaken then." Lillian spoke up and called Eden. Eden suddenly barked back like a stray cat when called. "What?" Lillian came up wanting to take off Eden's clothes. "Hurry," Eden said uncomfortably. "Are you crazy? Stay away," Lillian begged. "Just come a little closer, just a little bit." Eden was pushed back hard, then slowly opened his eyes and called, "Young lady." She tore open Eden's shirt. She broke out in a cold sweat and confirmed, "It is as I thought." There was something sharp piercing Lillian's body horizontally, looking extremely painful. That thing was stuck straight into Eden's heart, making Lillian worried. It is stuck right in the heart. This is the curse that has been placed on Eden. Even though Eden is the male lead who is always obsessed and imprisoned, but for a child this is too much. Lillian asked caringly, "Does it hurt a lot?" Eden was cared for, so he covered his face and replied, it is okay. If I move a lot sometimes it will be like this, it will be okay." Seeing Eden in so much pain, Lillian thought of a way. "What should I do? This is caused by the curse. Even if I call a doctor they can't do anything, but I can't let this situation continue. If this continues, What if something big happens? Suddenly Lillian remembered something. Wait a minute. Eden Van Chekhov. Born on October 24, 263. Died in March 274. Even though it became a topic of controversy at that time because it was a serious error, it was still not corrected. The official setting book actually has the wrong age of the male lead. Are you kidding me? The fans just thought that and ignored it. Maybe they are referring to the soul and not the body. And today is March 3, 273. Lightning suddenly struck outside, making Lillian surprised. Remembering, Eden in the game has been said to be emotionless and cruel since he was a child. But the Eden I know knows how to be angry. Even if he is upset, he still tries to protect me. If the Eden I know disappears because of the curse, I understand the Eden in the original story, where he is described as a completely different person. Fortunately, Eden's emotions still exist, at least for now. Even if it is not today, there will come a day when the curse swallows Eden, so I have to solve it before it is too late. Lillian put her hand on Eden's shoulder and decided, Eden, I will break the curse for you. Eden smiled with a face full of sweat and said, Does young lady think I have not tried? How can a human do something that even the gods can't? Lillian hesitated after hearing that. Eden said, The religious organization of this era definitely does not have a priest strong enough to remove the curse. They are an organization that is too rotten to be saved. I do not have divine power and I do not have the ability to heal, but I have the knowledge of Shin Yuna and the magic of Lillian. Suddenly Lillian remembered something, thinking about it. Although it is not a strong poison, but for a small bird it was fatal. I thought that Rossi was getting weaker and might die soon to take revenge. It was on the cake of those people. But in a moment of carelessness, Rossi ate that cake. So Lillian burst into tears. However, since that day Rossi has become healthier. That made me extremely surprised. Now that I have the knowledge of Shin Yuna, I understand fight poison with poison. In modern medicine, this is also a method that is sometimes applied, such as in cancer treatment. Curses or dark magic belong to negative and dark energy. Thinking, Lillian walked forward. Touching the box containing the dragon heart, she decided, coincidentally, in my hand I have an item that is considered the essence of negative energy. Lillian stood in front of Eden and called, Eden. Hey, can I experiment a little? Lillian said with a scary face. Making Eden scared and stopped her. Experiment with what? Lillian came up and begged, Please allow me, experiment on your own body. Eden did not understand. What nonsense are you talking about? What are you talking about? Lillian gave up. Oh well, explaining the principle to you will only waste both our time, Eden said uncomfortably. Now is not the time to joke around. Suddenly Lillian asked a question that surprised Eden. But you also know that it is not good to continue like this at all, right? The current state continues, you will soon collapse. Now you do not even have the strength to resist, right? So let us cooperate while you are still awake. Eden was still a little hesitant, but still decided to reach out to Lillian. Okay, just do it. Outside it started to rain. Inside, Lillian and Eden began to experiment with the curse. Good decision. Are you ready? Lillian worried, although I am pretty sure about my hypothesis, but it is all just speculation if something goes wrong. Lillian looked at the heart of the dragon. Suddenly she became uncomfortable. It is coming. Her painful memories appeared again. There is nothing worth loving. You are really a wicked kid. Even if your parents were still alive, they would abandon you. Seeing Lillian's face darken, Eden worried, Wait, are you okay? Lillian painfully shed tears, as if she was about to lose consciousness. That voice kept ringing. We are lucky to have taken you in. Someone like you will only be abandoned wherever you go. Lillian decided, for Eden, I have to overcome it. She quickly hugged the dragon heart and placed it on Eden's curse, surprising Eden. Hawk. Eden screamed in pain. Those sounds still echoed. Because of you I am always being compared. Die, just die already, go back to your parents. Lillian painfully shed tears and decided, these illusions are just nightmares that I am too familiar with. The curse made Eden groan in pain at this time. Lillian reminded, stay awake, Eden, do not pass out. To not lose consciousness, think about something else, it is almost over. After a while, Eden breathed out with difficulty. Lillian praised, good job, just a little bit more. Eden really could not understand at this time how strange. Clearly the one who looks like he is about to die is you. Why do you have to risk your life so much for me? Suddenly another pain came. A terrifying force spread around, making Eden painful. Lillian covered her face. The negative energy is erupting with terrible power. After that energy disappeared, Lillian came over and asked, are you okay, Eden? She tore open Eden's shirt to look and saw that it had disappeared. What about the curse? Look, the curse on the heart. Eden's face no longer seemed to be in pain. Seeing this, Lillian was a little unbelievable. The traces of the curse have disappeared. She could not help but laugh with joy. Then her body became unsteady. Have I overdone it? Why am I so sleepy all of a sudden? Before fainting, Lillian did not forget to tell Eden, hey kid, if you become successful in the future and forget that I did these things for you then. Before she could finish her words, Lillian fell asleep right next to Eden. Both fell into a deep sleep. Switching scenes to another place, Olga with her bald head examined. These annoying hairs do not want to grow back. Olga pushed food to Lillian at this time, walking and thinking, I told that kid not to eat for 3 days. She must be crying at this time, regretting her mistakes, right? Since that day I have not given her any food. She must be very hungry now, with that empty stomach. She must be waiting with a long neck. Even the pile of rotten food that looks okay on the outside that I brought, she will be grateful for. Coincidentally, the Duke just went out to battle. This is an opportunity to fix the habits of that kid. Thinking, Olga threw open the door and called loudly, Good morning, young lady Lillian. Sorry, I have been too busy lately, so I forgot to prepare a meal for the young lady. Olga was excited in her heart. Now realize your mistakes and cry and beg. Olga repeated once again, I have prepared a meal here. Lillian asked uncomfortably after hearing this. What? Seeing Lillian's reaction made Olga uncomfortable. What is this? What a bad reaction. Lillian waved her hand. No need, I already ate. Do not bother and get out. Olga looked at her with a confused expression after hearing this. Then she looked at the pile of bones under Lillian's feet and thought, no one prepared a meal for her. But she said she can take care of herself. How is that possible? Wait, what are all those things? Olga really could not understand. Clearly I ordered not to prepare meals for a while. Who exactly did this? Olga paid attention to the bed where Eden was still sleeping, Olga really could not understand. A toy actually dares to use the bed of a noble. Could it be that worm stole food and brought it? Olga excitedly took the ruler, wanting to hit Eden. Aha, that mouse stole and brought it as expected because it was brought in from outside. The bad habit still can't be dropped. I will punish it in place of the young lady. Seeing Olga being too much, Rossi quickly rushed up and pecked her head, causing her to scream in pain. Lillian said with a face full of killing intent, You have been nagging since just now. I said I am okay, Olga. Lillian repeated, You must be busy, so you have not heard any rumors. I passed the exam this time. Olga painfully begged Lillian, I understand, young lady, but first please help me with this. This damn thing won't stop. Lillian said frankly, and from now on, the hobbies that you consider trash are also fully supported by my father. Currently, I am developing something to present to father. So please do not hinder me anymore and get out, Olga. Not to mention Eden is still unconscious. I am very worried. I can't stand being hindered by someone like you anymore. Lillian's changing attitude scared Olga. Lillian looked towards Eden and thought, waiting for Eden to wake up. I do not want to give in to Olga anymore. Olga did not believe what Lillian said. Support from the family head. You think I will believe that? And you dare to say that you passed the exam that even the second young master could not do? You must have used some lowly trick. Lillian sneered after hearing this. You happen to pull out the silver sword that father planted, using tricks and thinking that others do not realize it. Lillian paid attention to the food that Olga brought. That is right, she thought so. You still thought I would be grateful for that trash food and admit my mistakes. Right, Lillian asked back, Olga, the words you just said. Are you looking down on my father, Duke Sergeev? Olga could only suppress her anger after hearing this. Lillian's eyes became threatening. Okay, if you do not believe me, then I will show you what I received as a reward after passing the test. Lillian took out the dragon heart box to prove it. This is the heart of the dead dragon. Lillian could not help but be surprised after hearing this. The heart of the dead dragon. That valuable thing was given to the daughter of a traitor. No way. Olga threw away the box in Lillian's hand and cursed. Do not say such false words. The box fell to reveal the dragon heart. Olga was still saying as expected, the young lady still needs more education. When she saw the dragon heart, she quickly fell silent. Looking at the dragon heart, Olga was confused. What is it? What is this thing? What exactly is this thing? Who? Hawk. Olga painfully felt like someone was pulling her in. Then she foamed at the mouth. Then lost consciousness. Seeing Olga faint after just a little bit made Lillian really unhappy. I did not expect she would faint after just a few seconds. Truly those who like to make others suffer are the weakest. Anyway, I will pick up the heart and put it away first. I thought I used it to break the curse of Ithan and could not use it anymore. Now then, we will clean up this troublesome trash. Thinking, Lillian shouted loudly, I can't believe it, Olga. After a while passed. Lillian still left Olga lying there while shouting and continuing her work. Olga, are you okay? Wake up quickly. Is there anyone? Come help quickly, Lillian thought. If the person shouting was my sister or brother, they would have run over immediately, but because this noise is coming from my room, they will probably take a while to come. Suddenly someone knocked on the door, making Lillian surprised. Oh, reacted faster than I thought, then quickly ran to, help me, Olga is. The servant went in and saw Olga lying unconscious on the ground. She screamed in fear. Head maid. Seeing the maid, Lillian was curious. There is a maid like this. I do not seem to have seen this face in Olga's group. Lillian stood up and called. Hey, I have never met you before. What is your name? The maid replied, why yes, I am Sasha. I just started working recently. Hearing this, Lillian could confirm as expected. She is new, so she has not appeared in Olga's group. It seems she does not know much about the atmosphere in the house and how people treat me here. Really perfect, she thought and smiled mischievously. Then turned away and explained, the head maid seems to be in poor health lately. She just fainted. Have you heard about her fainting last time? Lillian pointed the spoiled food towards the maid and blamed Olga. Look, she keeps fainting. Now even her memory is erratic. She even brought out such uneatable food. The maid was also a little surprised. I did not know the head maid's condition was so bad, Lillian said. Thanks to that, I am also in a lot of trouble here. So I want to say, while saying that she put the jewelry into the maid's hand, to gain someone's trust. Don't hesitate to put in the effort for this. Receiving the jewelry made the maid panic. Yes, me, but a valuable position like this, why would it be for me? The assignment of servants must receive the permission of the steward, Lillian asked. Have you heard about me passing the exam and receiving a reward from my father? The maid affirmed, yes, I have heard. Lillian pointed to herself and declared, I am the princess of this house, trusted by my father to that extent. So if I want that, is it necessary to ask the steward for permission? Do you understand my meaning? So from today I look forward to working with you, the maid thought after hearing this. That makes sense, it seems that he is different from the rumors. And he is also a good person, giving such a valuable position to a servant like me. Oh well, do not think about it anymore. The maid quickly agreed to Lillian's proposal. Yes, your highness. Seeing this, Lillian was very satisfied. Good, you may not know it now, but later you will see that you chose the right side. Lillian ordered, Sasha, call someone to clean up Olga's place first and then bring me a new meal. The maid followed hesitantly. Yes, Lillian said again. Head maid suddenly turned out like this. Everyone must be panicked. So remember to explain her situation clearly. Looking at the two stewards taking Olga away, Lillian could not help but think, if I did not pass the exam, even if the steward Jirito agreed, I would not be able to easily change the direct servant like. Because all the maids in this house have to be wary of Olga. No one wants to serve me. Lillian ate while deciding, that is right, to survive in this competitive house. First I need to have the strength so that no one dares to look down on me. Being served by Sasha and putting all her effort into researching new inventions, to prepare for the new work that she will present when her father returns. Lillian, after finishing eating, pointed to a vase and said, and by the way, when you go out, please throw this away for me. The maid was curious. What is this, your highness? Lillian explained, that is a machine that uses centrifugal force to rotate, but it is useless to me, Lillian said happily while drinking water, but if you put soap and laundry in, might be a little useful. The maid put the vase down to wash clothes, making the other maids curious, and asked, are you going to put laundry in that? Do you want to tear all the rags? All of this is just a conspiracy to make things difficult for you. Do not you know how smart the princess is? A maid advised, Sasha, do not you know that your master is famous for only creating useless and inferior things? You have really clung to a rotten rope. A few tens of minutes later, the washed fabrics completely opened the eyes of the maids. Kaya, what is this? The rag that came out is brand new. Two maids picked up the towel and exclaimed, if we washed it ourselves, we would have to scrub until our arms broke to get it clean. Did the princess really make this? It is like magic. Oh, there is no magic. How could such a valuable thing be given to servants like us at this time? Lillian's maid spoke up to confirm. Exactly, she said it was a magic machine that uses small magic stones. If there is no problem with a magic stone, it will work continuously. The maid was surprised after hearing this. So we can use it like this forever, Lillian's maid affirmed. That is right, then maybe. At this time, Lillian's maid took out another item. Let us try using this too. The princess said that it is a type of pump that uses water pressure or something. It is a dishwasher. She told us to try putting the dishes in it. A moment later, the washed dishes were as clean as new, making the maids exclaim, oh my god, all the dirt has been completely washed away. Sasha, does the princess have any machines that she wants to throw away? Sasha stammered. I do not know, she is currently focusing on a new research, the two maids urged. Sasha, if the princess throws something away, remember to show it to us. Okay, Sasha agreed, okay, if the princess allows it. And so, my failed products have begun to become famous in the mansion and focused around the servants. And finally, 1 week after breaking the curse, Eden finally woke up. Lillian ran worriedly and called, Eden, you are finally awake. Do you know how long you have been sleeping? I even checked every now and then to see if you were still breathing. Eden looked at Lillian without saying a word with a tired face. Then suddenly touched Lillian's face and said, you cried. Lillian quickly dodged and explained, Teach, that was a few days ago, and that was just a natural reaction of tears due to pain. We humans evolved to shed tears when in pain for the purpose of asking for help, so it was because of too much pain in the moment. Eden knew that Lillian was lying. Lillian was still very worried and asked, how is your body? Are you okay? First take off your shirt, I need to check the wound. Her statement made Eden shy. What? I just woke up, what are you doing? Suddenly Lillian went blank and called, wait, Eden, you. The shoulder muscles also seemed to be a bit wider. Lillian considered, could it be that the curse has suppressed his body development? Lillian did not care anymore and patted Eden's head. Anyway, it is good, the curse seems to have completely disappeared. It was also helpful to use that heart. Eden shyly asked, why did you have to go that far? That heart, I said it was precious, right? Seeing Eden being so shy, Lillian thought, this is a way to express gratitude in Eden's style, how cute. Thinking about it, in a way I became Eden's lifesaver. Taking this opportunity, even if he blackens in the future, I might save him one more time, right? But it will definitely be strange if he does not kill me when he grows up, right? Lillian smiled brightly and said, later I will take it all back with high interest when I take it back, do not forget it. I am investing in your future, understand? Eden did not say a word after hearing this, making Lillian confused. Why are not you answering? You are not planning to receive it and disappear, are you? Suddenly Eden blushed and said, when I grow up. Several days have passed since Eden woke up outside. The preparations for the upcoming hunting competition are in the final stage. I should have given up the hunting competition and stayed in my room, but this year it can't be like that. Because this hunting competition is a major tournament with the participation of knights from all over the continent, many teleportation gates will be opened. If I pretend to accidentally push Eden into one of those teleportation gates, he will be safely taken out. Because the prize of this hunting competition may be that, which may become the key for me to escape from here. Lillian smiled and greeted, hello everyone, good morning. She decided this year I will definitely win the hunting competition. Seeing Lillian diligently practicing swordsmanship made the two knights confused. What is wrong, princess? That is right, if it were normal, she would probably just swing a few times and give up because she was tired. Could it be that the rumor about her passing the exam last time is true? Did she come today to practice for the hunting competition? She passed that exam by using some kind of weapon. Right, anyway, she can't participate in the hunting competition because of that incident. I heard that Edward will not participate this year, so is she doing this to find an opportunity? Lillian stopped after exercising for a while and thought, I have been using my head all the time. It has been a long time since I have had to exercise my body. I feel a little tired. Anyway, it seems like my body has stretched a little. Thinking, Lillian paid attention to the two knights. Then called everyone. The two knights were startled when called and replied, Huck, yes. Lillian wiped the sweat on her forehead and asked, has the team that will participate in the activities in this hunting competition been ready? The knight stood up and reported, yes, we have completed the team arrangement. Hearing this, Lillian asked, is that so? Then let me join. The knight was surprised after hearing this. What could it be that the princess is also planning to participate? Lillian affirmed. The knight was a little hesitant, but suddenly a voice rang out and asked, the hunting competition. Because of the accident that she caused at the hunting competition 2 years ago, Lawrence stepped out to blame Lillian. The knights bowed respectfully when they saw Lawrence. Sir Lawrence, Lawrence said uncomfortably, if you have forgotten, do you need me to remind you? I do not know where she suddenly brought a venomous snake, and did not take care of it carefully, letting it run around and contaminate the hunting tent with poison. In the end, unable to endure it, Lawrence eliminated that venomous snake. Lillian affirmed, that won't happen again. I will take care of being banned from participating, so you do not need to worry about that. And in this competition I am also very serious, so you better be prepared. So you do not need to help me like last time. There will be no holding back. Hearing Lillian say that, Lawrence decided to leave but did not forget to instruct, do not do anything stupid again. This time, even if you die, I won't care. Hearing this, Lillian happily asked the knights, hey, did you hear my intentions just now? Who wants to defeat Lawrence with me? At this time, a knight stood up and said, Your Highness, please keep it to a minimum. The knight's training time is being hindered. Lillian apologized after hearing this. I am sorry about that, but I am also quite desperate. I can't participate in the hunt without teammates. If you are worried, you can team up with me. Saying that, Lillian noticed the red-haired person behind. That person is the younger brother of team leader Jean Hillis. Is the knight who sacrificed himself to protect the female lead until the last minute when the male lead kidnapped her. Lillian called, hey, Ravi Hillis. Ravi quickly replied when called, yes, how do you know my name? Lillian suggested, do you want to team up with me? Jean quickly stopped him, Princess Lillian. I do not know what you are planning, but please do not drag my younger brother into this. Lillian looked attentively and judged. Ravi seems young now, but later he will become the next Night Corps leader. Wait, if he is the next Night Corps leader. Because in the original story, Jean Hillis fell to his death. Lillian decided not to let Jin's death happen. I can't just let this matter go. Lillian suggested to Jean, do you want to bet with me? I understand the mentality of knights like everyone. You do not want to be on a team with a useless person, but I also create my own team, right? So then, the loser in the match with me will join my team. This is both a bet and an order from me. What do you think? Jean quickly agreed to Lillian's challenge. Okay, Ravi stopped him, brother, but Jean stopped him and said to Lillian, but if the princess loses, please leave the arena immediately. Lillian calmly agreed. Okay, she ordered Sasha, bring what you have prepared here. Sasha quickly brought the items, running after hearing this. Yes, Your Highness. On the tray was a hand that Lillian made. Lillian took that hand and put it on. She was ridiculed by the knights. How could an incompetent person like her get into this sacred arena? Lillian did not care and only paid attention to the hand. It seems to be fully charged. Lillian said triumphantly. The hunt will not have any restrictions on weapons. Jean quickly replied, it does not. Lillian was overjoyed after hearing that. Good. Then she told Jean, you can go first. Jean did not refuse after hearing this and rushed up quickly. Then I won't refuse. Jean was confused. What is she relying on to be so confident? Then right here, instead of just dealing with it moderately, I will let the princess see the difference in strength so that the princess will not dare to approach. Whether in the hunt or in the arena. All of these are for the benefit of the princess. Jean slashed down with a sword that Lillian blocked. Due to inertia, she took a few steps back. Thinking, indeed, he was determined to attack. But from my point of view, this is something to be thankful for. This weapon, suddenly the gem on the glove lit up. Making Jean surprised. Dares to calmly receive my attack like that. Lillian proudly said the use of the glove. That is because this weapon can absorb power, and can release that power again. But finally completed the absorption of power. Seeing Lillian turn around made Jean panic. What the hell is she doing? This is a full force attack, but why do not I feel anything? Lillian was happily triumphant. I have absorbed all the power from that attack. Thank you, Jean. Thanks to you I can counterattack with such terrible power. Thinking, Lillian swung her sword towards Jean with great power, causing the surrounding to explode. Jean confusedly stepped back. An explosion. The knights were also equally panicked. Oh no, team leader. Lillian wondered, did you really want to end me with just one blow? The explosion just now was no different from Jean condensing all his power into it. Luckily I have this glove. Thanks to it I can show off all my skills in front of everyone. Thinking, Lillian sighed and put her sword away. A knight pointed at her and wondered, Ma, magician. Lillian protested, a magician? Why are you saying such nonsense? This is not magic, but a machine made with mechanical magic technology, remember that? Jean panicked. Mechanical magic technology. Is that so strong? Suddenly she turned to look at Jean and said, also, your foot has stepped out of the arena. Jean put away his sword and admitted defeat. Yes, I know. That was a clear defeat for me. I will join you in this hunting competition. While saying that, Jean raised Lillian's hand and swore loyalty. Lillian happily welcomed. Welcome to my team, Jean Hillis. Seeing Lillian's smile surprised Jean and he could not speak. Jean looked at Lillian's face and could not help but be fascinated. A calmness and a bright smile that made others feel comfortable. After fighting with Jean, Lillian turned around and asked Ravi, good, this time I want to fight with Ravi. What do you think? Ravi went after hearing this. Then knelt down and called, Princess. Please allow me to serve you. Jean was surprised to see Ravi like that. Ravi, Lillian was also surprised. We have not fought yet, are you sure? Ravi smiled and said his intention. From the beginning I wanted to become a person on the princess's team. The princess saw me, not him or anyone else, from the moment the princess called my name. Jean ran to stop Ravi. Ravi, I told you not to participate in this hunting competition. Hunts are always dangerous, and this time it coincides with the time when the ice dragon awakens, so it is even more dangerous. If something happens, mother at home will. Ravi insisted. No, I will participate as a knight of Sergei. Jean helplessly shouted, Ravi. Ravi's eyes were full of determination. Team leader, sometimes it seems you forget that you are the team leader of Sergei Team 1, not my brother. Jean cursed silently after hearing this. Damn it. In this dangerous land, you can't always protect someone. Lillian went up to advise Jean. Jean, you do not need to worry about protecting Ravi too much. He is strong enough. He is a true knight. He has passed the test of Sergei. After having both Jean and Ravi on the team, Lillian smugly thought of the next person. So then, who is missing from our team? I will be in charge of the role of strategist, technician, and intellectual. Jean is a person whose skills have been honed through a lot of experience. Looking around, Ravi is also quite agile. I found him. At this time there was a tall knight standing outside. Lillian went up and asked, Hey, what is your name? The knight replied, I am Canon, your highness. Lillian asked, Canon, do you have a team yet? Canon quickly replied, Not yet. Lillian suggested, Then do you want to join my team? Looking at Canon, Jean realized something. He is truly a talented person. His strength is like a monster. He can be so strong that he can knock out the knight team leader with just one blow. And Ravi too. Ravi is also very good. At this time, the small useless princess of Sergei had a full team. Looking at her team made Lillian secretly happy. A team that is so perfect that it can't be more perfect. Everyone has their own unique characteristics, creating a perfect balance like a hexagon, complementing each other. However, with this strength I still feel that something is missing. But those shortcomings can be compensated with equipment, such as today. The next day, everyone was happy when they saw Lillian. Oh my god, Princess Lillian is here again. This man is Blacksmith Olsen. Olsen wiped the sweat from his forehead with anticipation. I do not know what design the princess will bring today. The designs that the princess brings are always very interesting. I am very looking forward to knowing what item the princess will bring this time, Lillian happily said. You always help me. Lillian laid out the design. The reason I came to see Olsen this time is, to do this Lillian asked for help. Here the design that I will ask you for this time. Olsen was surprised as soon as he saw Lillian's design. Wow, oh my god, that is a very interesting idea, truly amazing. Lillian wondered, how is it, can you do it? Olsen said, it seems it will be quite difficult, but I will try. Lillian felt very grateful after hearing this. Thank you, I only trust you. Lillian smiled triumphantly in this hunt. After asking for help from Olsen, Lillian left, not forgetting to wave goodbye. Then I will leave it to you. Olsen bowed respectfully and replied, yes, I will do my best, Your Highness. After entrusting the crafting to Olsen, Lillian thought on the way. Now that the team has gathered completely and I have given the new design to Olsen, there is only one important thing left. How to convince father to allow me to participate. Arriving at the place, Lillian saw Sasha, so she happily called out, oh Sasha, seeing Sasha flustered princess. Lillian came up and wondered, where are you going so hastily? Sasha replied, the thing is. Lillian was extremely surprised after hearing this and exclaimed, what, Edward and Lawrence are fighting? Lillian dragged Sasha to watch together out of enjoyment. Let us go, Sasha. How can we miss such a good performance? Sasha was dragged away and had no choice but to follow. Yes. On the training ground, everyone surrounded the area. Lillian could not squeeze in after arriving at the place and was confused. What is going on? I can't see anything. Does our mansion have this many people? It seems that everyone came to watch this. Suddenly at this time someone lifted her up. Canon blankly said, Princess, how can you see like that? Seeing it was Canon who was carrying her, she was a little surprised. Canon explained, I am taller than the princess. So I can carry you up to make you taller than me. Canon teased Lillian, the princess is taller now, fly up. She was embarrassed when Canon treated her like a baby. Wait a minute, Canon, what are you doing? Suddenly Canon put Lillian all the way up on his shoulders to sit. She could observe the match from above. He is carrying me on his shoulders. Seeing it, my brother Canon's shoulders are really the perfect position. Thank you, Canon. At this time Lillian wondered, but why are they fighting? Canon explained, the young master just returned from the battlefield, then met Sir Lawrence at the training ground. Then they fought. Lillian was a little surprised after hearing the reason. So he likes to fight without any reason. According to observation, Lillian thought, I think Edward will have the advantage, but if that is the case then this match must be said to be. Lawrence on this side was struggling to resist. His face was injured a lot. At this time Edward rushed over. With one hit, he sent Lawrence flying away, making Lillian feel that this match was not fair. After receiving that blow, Lawrence knelt on the ground. Blood spurted out of his mouth. Edward looked down on him after seeing this. That is all you have, always like this, rushing in like a mad horse. In the end, you still fail miserably. Lawrence was uncomfortable after being mocked. Damn it. I have worked so hard, but why can't I beat that bastard even just once? I am so annoyed. At this time someone spoke up and called Sir Lawrence. The knights ran over to help Lawrence up. Let me take you to the medical room, Lawrence ordered. Retreat, but the knights were still very worried. You are seriously injured. Suddenly Lawrence said, the match is not over yet. Lawrence painfully called Edward. Edward, just stop. Ugh, damn it. Lillian on this side was a little worried about Lawrence's condition. He is already in that state, but he still wants to fight Edward. Is he crazy? Although Lawrence hates me and always causes trouble with me, but can't just stand by and watch. Thinking, Lillian went to stop Lawrence. Do not be stubborn, you should stop before things get more serious. If you continue to put pressure on the injured muscles, they will be destroyed. It won't be fun if my strongest opponent in this hunting competition is defeated like this. Lawrence felt ridiculous after hearing Lillian say that. The strongest opponent, seeing me like this and you can still say that. Lillian did not care, the people of Surgenev all have strong physiques. Is this injury worth anything? You will recover in time before the competition, I am right. Lawrence was angry when he saw Lillian not understanding the meaning in his words and shouted, I am not talking about these injuries. Lillian said directly, my point of view will not change. When considering all aspects, the strongest opponent in this competition is second brother, not eldest brother. The hunting competition is not a one-on-one sword fight, so there will be a problem if an opponent on par with me suddenly disappears. Suddenly Lillian made a suggestion, or, do you want me to take care of you directly? Lawrence was surprised after hearing this and exclaimed, what? Lillian said, I am a bit rusty on medical knowledge, but if you sincerely want that, it is okay, at worst that arm of yours will never move again. Hearing this, Lawrence shouted in fear, get away from me. Lillian obeyed and stepped away. You do not want to anyway, a professional is more trustworthy. Lillian turned back and asked Canon for help. Canon, please take care of him for me. Lawrence's face turned pale and asked, who take care of who? Canon came up and knelt down to carry Lawrence. It is me. Canon will take you there as quickly and safely as possible. Canon was happy in his heart. Escort young master, protect young master. Lillian ordered, depart. Canon carried Lawrence and ran away quickly, following Princess's orders. Lawrence was properly treated by the doctor, so he fell asleep. Lillian was taking care of him worriedly on one side, right arm, left ankle, ribs and internal injuries. He was bruised all over, that crazy guy. At least these lacerations will heal quickly. He hated me so much, why did I take him to see a doctor? Lillian sighed uncomfortably. Probably because I understand the feeling of having to cling desperately, so I can't ignore it. I thought Lawrence had fallen asleep, but he suddenly spoke up and asked, "Do you really want to participate in the hunting competition?" Lillian crossed her arms uncomfortably. I thought he had fainted, so he was awake," she replied. "Otherwise why would I grit my teeth and endure the harsh training of Hillis Jean?" Lawrence happily said after hearing this, "You have never cared before about either hunting or training." Lillian fell silent after hearing this. "That is because, no matter how hard I try, I can't keep up with the footsteps of my brothers. The more I understand that, the more ashamed and annoyed I feel." Suddenly Lawrence spoke his mind. "I used to think that you might be an intelligent person." Lillian was confused after suddenly hearing Lawrence's praise. Did I hear wrong?" Lawrence said again. "If you were really a hopeless idiot, father would have kicked you out of the house. That way you could escape the battle for the right of inheritance." Lawrence began to think like Eloise, who was eliminated due to poor health. But that completely depends on father's will. Putting everything on that slim chance is not a smart action, but a stupid one. Lawrence made it clear to Lillian, even if you train hard to prepare, but the stronger you are, the more clearly you recognize the pain. No matter how hard you suffer, in the end, you will only become a source of energy for that person to absorb. Lillian worried about Lawrence. He is injured, so he has become fragile and easily broken. So pitiful, I suddenly feel so uneasy. Lawrence turned away. Maybe the painkiller is making me talk nonsense. You get out. Suddenly Lillian had an idea. Wait, maybe I should invite Lawrence to join my team now. If so, I can ask for permission to participate in the hunting competition. Suddenly Lillian came up and asked Lawrence for his opinion. Do you want to become stronger? Do you want to cooperate with me? If you can become stronger, then you will accept doing anything in exchange, right? Lawrence was confused by Lillian's statement. What? Lillian suggested, cooperate with me, this is not a bad deal at all. Lawrence felt Lillian was joking. What nonsense are you talking about? At this time Lillian mentioned again. Have you heard the rumors about the mansion recently? My research on mechanical magic has results. Lawrence was interested after hearing this. I heard you defeated Jean with a strange glove, but is not that just a trick? Lillian uncomfortably cursed silently. Being so smart will make you die young. She turned away. Oh well, if you do not believe me, then I did not say anything. But Lillian knew, the Lawrence she knew was a competitive person. He would not ignore her proposal. Seeing Lillian want to leave, Lawrence stopped her. Wait. Lawrence accepted Lillian's proposal. If you said so, then let us do it. Receiving what she wanted made Lillian triumphant. I knew it. Lillian turned back to the chair and sat down, saying in a leisurely manner, you pleaded so politely, so I have no choice but to agree. Lillian spoke about the advantages of mechanical magic. With mechanical magic, I can help you cover up the things that make you feel the most despair. Lawrence was extremely uncomfortable after hearing this and asked, I do not know what you are trying to say, but you mean I have to rely on your trash? Lillian coldly asked, so what, that eye, is a fatal weakness that Lawrence can never overcome no matter how hard he tries. Lawrence was startled after hearing this. His right eye almost can't see anything from birth. To adapt, he asks his assistant to throw the ball towards his right side to practice avoiding reflexes. Or when fighting other knights, he will ask them to attack on the right. But he can't hit anyone, which proves that congenital weaknesses cannot be overcome. Lillian said frankly, so, your right eye, I will help you recreate it. Lawrence stammered, how do you know about my eye? Lillian replied casually, you think I do not know anything, we are family after all. Lawrence was a little disbelieving after hearing what Lillian said. You said family. Lillian continued to explain, if you wear the magical device that I made, you will have an eye that is better than everyone. Lawrence still did not quite believe Lillian. You really think a trivial machine can replace my eye? Lillian did not care and asked, this deal is great, right? If you do not like it, then pretend you did not hear anything. Suddenly Lawrence asked, so what do you gain from this deal? Lillian was a little happy when she heard Lawrence ask that. He fell for the trap. Then she confidently replied, of course I also have something I want to get back, the thing that I want. After talking with Lawrence, Lillian left the room and was surprised. Canon, have you been waiting all this time? Canon happily said, Canon will escort the princess back to her room. She refused after hearing this. Thank you, I can go back myself. But Canon insisted on escorting Lillian all the way back to her room. The duty of a knight is not to let the princess go alone. Seeing Canon's serious eyes made Lillian panic. Why did he suddenly make the problem so serious? Then she had no choice but to agree. Okay, then you take me back. Thank you, Canon. Now, before Lillian could ask anything, Canon pointed forward and said, a strange bird is fighting with a boy. Lillian was confused. What? At this time Lillian looked over and saw Eden fighting with Rossi, making her panic. That is, what is going on? Rossi was spraying water at Eden. Eden angrily cursed. Damn that brown bird with a red ribbon. Lillian watched the scene of the two fighting and wondered. Rossi, what are you doing? Rossi quickly replied, watering the plants, watering the plants. Rossi's answer made Lillian panic. Why are you doing that? I told you to take care of Eden, not spray water on him. Eden was so angry this time that he went crazy and cursed, you stupid bird. Suddenly Cannon quickly went up and reminded Eden. This strange bird is the princess's invention. You can't destroy the princess's invention. Cannon's sudden appearance made Eden panic. Who are you? Cannon introduced himself. Cannon is the princess's servant. You are also the princess's servant. Eden was confused. Servant. At this time Cannon remembered. Oh, I remember, it is the princess's doll. I have heard a lot of rumors about it. Lillian's face darkened. Rumors? I have tried to keep this a secret. She angrily asked, what rumors? Who spread the rumors? So it has been revealed. Suddenly at this time a voice exclaimed, W. It's so beautiful. Lillian looked over in confusion. Then she heard Rossi exclaim again, look at the eyelashes, how beautiful, even when sleeping, it is as beautiful as a painting. Lillian realized something after hearing this. This voice sounds so familiar. Before that, the servants surrounded Eden and exclaimed when they saw him sleeping. With such beauty, it is no wonder the princess is so protective. This is understandable, Lillian realized. Rothy is replaying the conversation that took place in this room. At that time Sasha opened the door and ran in to ask the servants, what are you doing in the princess's room? The servants did not care and kept touching Eden. Tisk, calm down, we're just looking for a bit, looking and leaving right away. Wow, even the skin is white and smooth. Lillian understood everything and was shocked, speechless. I can't believe it, they are crazy, even though he has been freed from the curse. His personality is still as bad as before. What if something happens while they are here? This can't be, call Sasha here now. Sasha entered the room at this time in panic. Princess, you called for me, Lillian ordered. Convey my words to all the servants. Sasha obeyed, yes. Lillian sternly reminded, if anyone dares to touch my things, I will not let them off. Sasha followed the order, obeying. After instructing Sasha, Lillian turned to tell Cannon, Cannon, you also have to remember clearly for me. You must not say anything about what you saw in this room. Cannon affirmed solemnly, I will not say a word. Lillian said frankly, I hate people who pretend to care about my things. If anyone dares to covet those things, I will gouge their eyes out. Lillian thought, they will definitely be scared by this type of warning. Suddenly Cannon spoke up and asked, but Your Highness, excessive obsession will sometimes cause people to lose what they cherish most. Hearing Cannon's words surprised Lillian. What are you saying? She was uncomfortable again. He started to make everything so serious. Cannon bowed his head at this time and said loudly, Cannon will remember the princess's words. Then Cannon quickly left, making Lillian watch confusedly. What is wrong with him? Is he pretending to be stupid or is he really stupid? Lillian did not care anymore and slumped down sighing. Hayes, oh well, she began to blame everything on Eden. I am too tired, it is all because of your beauty. Eden was confused after hearing this. Beautiful. Me. Lillian was not very happy after hearing Eden say that. The typical characteristic of dangerous people is not realizing their own beauty. Lillian at this time wondered and asked, anyway, other than spraying water, Rothy did not do anything else, right? How do you feel? Eden nodded. Then he said his feelings, from that day on, I no longer feel pain. Lillian was extremely triumphant after hearing this. That is, of course, I have confirmed many times to make sure the curse has been resolved, suddenly Eden said. But Lillian was confused. But what, do you feel uncomfortable anywhere? Eden shyly covered his face and expressed his gratitude to Lillian. I think I still have not thanked you. Thank you. This was the first time being thanked by Eden, making Lillian surprised. He actually thanked me. Was he? Blushing, she paid attention to Eden's red ears. Lillian recalled the first time she met Eden. In the beginning, he only had a few states, such as suspicion and anger, like a stray cat ready to scratch everything around him. But now he is like a kitten who likes to be taken care of. Lillian was happy. I feel so proud of myself. Then said, do not be polite, Eden. The next morning, Lillian was standing in the library and thinking. I confidently said that I would heal the eye for Lawrence. But my technique is still too weak to do that during times like this when I feel stuck. Surely this book is the right choice. Before remembering my previous life, this was the book that led me into the world of magic. This book explains the operating principles of machines and records the basic ways to use magic power as energy. Now that I have the knowledge of Shinyuna, I have realized many things when I open this book again. For example, a few hundred years ago when the term mechanical magic was still unfamiliar, the fact that he wrote a mechanical magic book at such a high level shows the greatness of the author. If only there was even just one more book about mechanical magic, preferably written by this author. But it is difficult to expect anything other than a book about swordsmanship in this castle. Lillian sighed helplessly. The library is big, but there is nothing useful. Suddenly the steward went in and called, Your Highness, seeing the steward, she spoke up. Steward. Lillian asked for help. Next time when the merchant ship visits, buy a few new books. The so-called library is not diverse at all. The steward wondered, does the young lady need more books? Then does the young lady want to visit library number 2? I have heard that there are many books in fields other than swordsmanship. Lillian's eyes lit up after hearing this. What, there is another library, why did not you tell me now? Let us go right away. Both went to the library together. Lillian panicked when she saw the long staircase leading down, stairs to the basement. The steward reminded, be careful with your feet and follow me. Lillian looked around in surprise. I did not expect there to be a place like this in the mansion. It is called a library, but being so deep, it is no different from a shelter. After a while, both had arrived at the library. We are here, Your Highness. The door was opened. Lillian looked in and was surprised. What is this? Far beyond what I imagined, she exclaimed. Wow, so impressive. Lillian looked around the library in a happy mood. As expected, the books here are more diverse than the library on the ground. In this place I can definitely find useful information. Not wanting the steward to bother her, Lillian waved her hand and said, thank you for leading the way. Steward can go up first. The steward obeyed. Yes, Your Highness, please feel free to read. Lillian went to a bookshelf and chose a book somewhat appraising. Anyway, it seems that the books are rotten because of poor preservation. I have to read carefully. After searching for a while, Lillian suddenly exclaimed, this is Introduction to Clockwork Machinery Operated by Magic Power. I found it, a book about mechanical magic. Furthermore, this familiar handwriting is, as I thought, the same author as How to Create Your Own Pet with Clockwork Machinery. Let us see, all my efforts, after all, are just trying to follow in the footsteps of the ancient Alai Empire, even though these northern barbarians do not care about a pile of scrap iron and only look down on me. Alai Empire, I have heard the name before, a legendary kingdom like El Dorado or Atlantis on Earth. Not just existing in legends, that kingdom really existed thousands of years ago when monsters had not run rampant. They used magic engineering to build a prosperous era. Impossible, the book writes. Here I have recorded all the data I have been able to unearth. Lillian was extremely surprised after reading it. Oh my gosh, this is, I did not expect there to be this method. Wait, this blueprint, so that is it. If I convert magic power this way then. On this side, seeing that Lillian has been gone for a long time and has not returned, they are extremely worried. The princess has not returned yet. Could something have happened? Eden stood up and said, I must go out and look first. Sasha hesitated. But the princess repeatedly told us that the doll must not leave the room. At this time Lillian opened the door and came back. I am back. Her complexion was extremely gloomy, making Sasha scared. Princess Lillian. Eden also anxiously came over to ask, what is up? Where were you hiding that you only crawled back now? Cough, you smell really dusty. Lillian replied, where was I? In the book I found are exquisite blueprints of magic engineering that are both complex and beautiful. Each line, each small detail is full of ideas to help utilize magic power as an efficient energy source. Lillian did not expect. She was so engrossed in reading that she did not realize how time passed. After that, with dark circles around her eyes, she smiled brightly. A magical world, is not it? Seeing Lillian acting strangely made Eden and Sasha stay away. What is up? Did you eat something weird? So confusing. Lillian excitedly said, I am sure from today my research will enter a completely new stage. Seeing Lillian's creepy smile, Eden stopped her. It is giving me the creeps, stop it. A few days later, Olsen was shocked when he saw Lillian's blueprint. Unbelievable. How could the young lady come up with this idea? Lillian smugly said, quite useful, right? Olsen was very excited. It is not just useful if we adjust the shape and function, it can also be used as a common version. Who knows, this thing might become a revolution. Lillian was very grateful. All thanks to the ancestors of the Alai Empire. Thanks to that, I can control magic power as I want and learn how to systemize it. According to the records, it seems that the ancestors at that time could not control magic power in a sophisticated way, so they had to rely on supporting equipment. In my case, thanks to my innate physique, I do not need supporting equipment. I can still control magic power in a sophisticated way, making the design easier. Olsen excitedly resolved, I will do my best to create it. Please trust me, Princess. Lillian was happy when she heard that. Yes, I am relying on you this time too. Thank you as always. After asking Olsen for help, Lillian happily returned to her room. It is so lucky that we have a genius blacksmith like him in our castle. Turning ideas into reality is not a simple matter. While walking, Lillian suddenly saw something. That person is Edward. Lillian quickly hid when she saw Edward. Lillian remembered the scene of herself ordering Rossi to attack Edward and worried. I have been trying to avoid him at all costs since that day, and have not met him again. Luckily I discovered it this time. If I get caught, I do not know what will happen. It is best to hide here for a while, wait for him to pass by and then come out. After not hearing any sound, Lillian prepared to leave. I do not sense any aura anymore. He must have passed by, right? Suddenly Edward appeared. Hello there, little one, making Lillian panic. Edward wondered, why are you sneaking around here like a mouse? Lillian was scared. I have been discovered. Lillian unhappily muttered to herself, this weirdo, then tried to smile and greet. Haha, brother, how are you? Lillian did not feel happy in her heart. Are you deliberately erasing your tracks and pretending? Pass by. Edward showed his displeasure. That annoying tone has not changed. Since when have we been so polite to each other? Lillian quickly pretended not to understand. What do you mean? I know from the bottom of my heart that I always respect you. Edward stopped her, our little sister. Seems like every time she sees me being respectful, she runs away. Lillian made an excuse. I just do not want to bother you with your precious time. She was uncomfortable. I knew meeting him would be like this. Since when has he called me little sister? And even our little sister? Is this a new kind of bullying? Seeing Lillian being so humble made Edward confused. Why are you being so obsequious, like a weak worm? She quickly replied as if it were obvious. Compared to you, are not I just like insects? She was annoyed in her heart. This damn guy, why is he so persistent? Normally, whenever he sees me, he frowns like he sees something bad and ignores me. Suddenly Edward lowered his head, whispering in Lillian's ear. Pretending is also enough. Lillian was confused, pretending, Hey, what do you mean? Oh well, never mind, it is time to gather, too bad we have to stop here today. Lillian quickly bowed. I heard recently that the territory is full of monsters, so everyone has to go and eliminate them. You have to go now. Edward left without forgetting to say. See you later, little sister. She bowed and said goodbye. Yes, please come back safely. Lillian breathed a sigh of relief. I escaped. Suddenly Edward smirked and said, next time we meet, do not pretend to be weak. It is really boring to see such weak people. Hearing Edward's words made Lillian surprised. Looking up, she wondered, what did he say? She could not see Edward anywhere. He disappeared. Lillian was really surprised by his speed. He was gone so quickly. He is really fast. Suddenly she remembered the words Edward said. Pretending to be weak. Is it just because I used Rothy to move the rock that he said that? She remembered when Rossi used the rock to hit Edward in the face. Otherwise, could it be that he realized that I unconsciously used magic power? Lillian quickly dismissed the idea. Hey, no way, even if Big Brother is as sensitive as a beast, how could he recognize such a faint stream of magic power? She assured herself, it is probably not that. Yeah, it is probably not, it should not be. Edward, on the other side, hid in a corner and smirked. It seems that he has been paying attention to Lillian thoroughly. Edward found it interesting, really interesting. On Lawrence's side, a voice rang out. You have worked hard, young Master Lawrence. The doctor happily said. From today you can take off the bandages. Lawrence was grateful when he heard that. Really, thank you, the doctor politely said. You are welcome. Lawrence moved his muscles and bones again. Then he looked at the vase and thought of Lillian. That Lillian kid. After that, she kept making excuses to visit and bother me. Remembering when Lillian brought a flower and said, here, today's get well gift is an eye exam. Lillian pasted the alphabet chart and started the test with Lawrence. She kept testing this eye and then other parts. Can you see this too? The letters are so small. Is all your eyesight focused on one side? Are you Mongolian? You really are a person with strange blood. Lawrence put on his clothes and missed Lillian a little. What has she been busy with lately that I have not seen her at all? Not really, it is just very empty. Lawrence was about to open the door and leave the room when he heard a voice calling, second brother. Suddenly Lillian appeared with a depressed mood, scaring Lawrence. What is this? What have you been doing all this time, Lillian seemed to have lost all her vitality and asked, You have been discharged. Lawrence was a little worried when he saw Lillian like that. Lillian, your appearance. Lawrence grabbed Lillian tightly and asked, Who is it? Who made you like this? Lillian then went crazy and laughed. It is not like that. Lawrence was confused. Lillian excitedly said, as expected, the field of optics is not simple, especially the part about dealing with reversed images. I clearly did it according to the equation. So why do errors keep appearing? Lawrence was worried. It has been even stranger lately. Could it be that she has completely lost her mind? Suddenly Lillian took out a golden piece of glass and excitedly said to Lawrence, I finally did it. My masterpiece will become your eyes, Scouter. Lawrence was confused when he saw Lillian's invention, my eyes. Remembering Lillian's words before, your right eye. I will create it for you. Lawrence really did not expect Lillian to do what she said. Really, did not I just say it casually? Before that Lawrence was afraid of being disappointed, so he told himself. No, do not expect too much. Even famous therapists are helpless with this eye. If I place hope and then get disappointed again. Lawrence was confused what Lillian said. Scouter, just attach it to your right ear. She took the initiative to put it on for Lawrence, like this. Suddenly putting glasses on his eyes startled Lawrence. Ugh, it is too cold. After putting it on, Lillian asked, How do you feel? Lawrence was surprised. Unexpectedly, I can see it, the right side of the world has always been blurry. Lawrence wondered, what exactly did you? Then he thought to himself, this world, is it so vast? What have you done? Lawrence's eyes lit up as if he was seeing the beautiful world for the first time. Lillian was excited when she saw Lawrence curious. Do you want to hear an explanation? Seeing Lillian's eyes made Lawrence's heart excited. Ugh, her eyes have become really lively. At this time Lillian was immersed in the answer. Everything is not simple at all. right from redefining the concept of glasses has been a challenge. There is no really effective method to support vision, so I had to start over, starting from the phenomenon of light refraction. Seeing Lillian saying so much, Lawrence quickly stopped her. No, I misspoke. No need to explain anyway, I can't understand it. Lillian sighed in frustration when she heard Lawrence say that. Yes, my brothers usually panic just like that, to put it simply. Lawrence stood aside helplessly. In the end, you are still explaining. Lillian explained in the shortest and easiest way possible. The vision on the right is not only clearer but also wider than the left. Right, I have widened the viewing angle. Now your vision on the right is wider than that of a normal person, like an animal. Lawrence touched the glasses in surprise. This thing unexpectedly can do that. No, I mean, can it be done with magic? Lillian pointed to the glasses and denied. It is not magic, but magic technology. Oh, and just seeing clearly is a bit boring, so I added a few extra features to try. Lillian happily pointed outside and asked, do you see the knights passing by outside the window? What do they look like? Lawrence quickly replied, they look kind of blue, like a bruise. Lillian was overjoyed when she heard that. Good, so it is working correctly. Lillian continued to explain, I have analyzed and digitized your current aura. Based on that, I have also simulated it so you can see the aura of others. Simply put, if they are stronger than you, it will be red, weaker will be blue, probably Father and Edward will be red, right? At this time, Lillian pointed to herself and asked Lawrence, hey brother, what do I look like? She thought, it will definitely be blue, but anyway you can't know for sure. Maybe I have hidden power. Lawrence observed for a while and said, Lillian, you. There is nothing. She was extremely panicked when she heard that. There is nothing. Lawrence confirmed again, there is no color. Lawrence felt confused. What is it? Among the people passing by the window, those who do not see any color are only the maids who have never held a sword once. Looking at Lillian, Lawrence really could not understand, yet she participated in swordsmanship classes, but there is no color at all. Lawrence was worried. Such a weak person is still planning to participate in the hunting festival. Lawrence spoke up, hey, do not tell me you do not have any aura to show up. Or the glasses are broken. Lillian did not believe it. How could there be no aura at all? After all, I am a descendant of the Sergeyev family. Lillian remembered the past. I used to train so hard, no matter what, there could not be no aura at all. She was extremely uncomfortable. It seems that the extra feature is broken. That is annoying, but oh well, I just added it for fun. It is not worth fixing. Then Lillian handed the contract to Lawrence and said, follow the agreement. It is my turn now. On the training ground, the knights were constantly sparring. As soon as Lillian arrived, she quickly praised, very good. Everyone is practicing diligently, right? Lillian called her teammates over. Jean, Canon, Ravi, all three were surprised. Oh, it is the princess, Lillian shouted. Team Lillian, gather everyone. All three quickly gathered and lined up neatly. Jean wondered, what is the matter, princess? Lillian cleared her throat and said, overall, gathering like this is quite solid. To reduce the weaknesses in your abilities, I have created something. Everyone was very excited when they heard that. And exclaimed, a gift. Lillian thought, I have solved Lawrence's most troublesome problem. Now it is time to consolidate the internal affairs. First is the leg armor of the Knight Ravi. The Knight Ravi is already very agile, so I created a pair of leg armor to help maximize speed. On the ice and snow you can move as if you are gliding on ice. Ravi was happy to receive the shoes made by Lillian. It is indeed an honor to be bestowed such a wonderful pair of leg armor. Thank you so much, Princess Lillian. Lillian was embarrassed. No, I should be the one thanking you. Oh, I mean, thank you for being so excited. Lillian gave out more equipment, and this is the armor of the Knight Cannon. The Knight Cannon has good resistance but is not the agile type, so instead of increasing speed, I added a feature to help the shield be strengthened instantly with magic power. Cannon was also very excited to receive the armor and praised, it fits me perfectly. It is not easy to find this. It is wonderful, Princess. Lillian was happy on the outside but a little uncomfortable. On the inside, yeah, because of your special figure it took a lot of materials. Seeing that the other two had equipment but he did not, Jean asked, Princess, what about me? Lillian turned around and smiled when she heard that. Knight Jean Hillis. Unfortunately, I do not have anything for you. Jin's face darkened with discomfort when he heard that. Lillian comforted Jean. Do not be too sad, Knight. You are a perfect, balanced knight like a standard hexagon in textbooks. If I tried to adjust it, it might break that perfect balance. With the current technology, I still can't improve anything for such an excellent knight like you, sorry. Although it is praise, Jean still feels unhappy in his heart. I thought what it was, but Jean was so excited that he became arrogant. Princess, you flatter me. I am not that praiseworthy. Jean secretly rejoiced. I did not expect to be praised like that. My mood has improved a lot. Lillian then said her main purpose. Actually I am not just here to give out equipment but also to ask you for something. Ravi agreed casually when he heard that. Course, just leave it to us. Seeing everyone agree, Lillian quickly said, thank you everyone. First, please write your name here. In the evening someone called, Miss Lillian. The steward entered Lillian's room and invited, please come in, the master has agreed to meet you privately. Lillian was excited to be invited to meet the Duke. Very good. I just need to follow what I have prepared. After a while, she was led to the Duke's room. She spoke, it has been a while, father. As soon as he saw her, He called out, Lilian Sergeyev, in half a month, you have sent a request to meet 21 times. Lilian put the stack of documents down and said, I have an important request to present. First, please read this. The Duke looked at the document confused. What is this? Looking at the writing on the paper, this handwriting is. He was a little surprised. Is this the document written by Jean Hillis, Ravi Hillis and Canon Abram? Lilian spoke out her purpose for wanting to meet the Duke. As you can see, I have gathered an excellent team, and this is a document confirming that everyone recognizes that I am qualified to participate. Therefore, please allow me to participate in the hunting contest. Lilian's eyes were very firm, making the Duke not know what to say. Then he looked at the document again. On it were questions such as, what is your name, Jean Hillis, Ravi Hillis, Canon Abram? The second question, how much do you trust Lilian Sergeyev? There are 5 levels, completely distrust, a little hesitation, normal, trustworthy teammate, can entrust my life. Jean chose normal, while Ravi and Canon chose to entrust their lives to her. To the third question, how do you assess Lilian Sergeyev's combat ability? Still 5 choices, only equal to small insects, normal person level, above the average knight. Excellent, the only warrior who can protect this land. Jean chose normal person level, Ravi chose above the average knight, while Canon chose excellent. To the fourth question, how is the current Lilian Sergeyev different from 2 years ago? Jean should express his feelings. The little princess now compared to the last time we met has shown more determination. The fifth question, do you think that this time Lilian Sergeyev will perform better than last time in the hunting festival? All 3 immediately chose yes. The Duke kept reading the survey of the 3 people about Lilian. He clenched the paper, revealing surprised eyes. Looking up at Lilian, he asked, suddenly changed your mind for a long time you? Before the Duke could finish speaking, Lilian quickly replied, yes, I have been avoiding it for too long. Lilian remembered her 2 brothers and could not help but express her own inferiority. I hate training, and I hate my own incompetent body, and I hate even more having to engage in the inheritance. Fight and die at the hands of my brothers. But I have decided not to run away from my fate anymore. Lilian firmly declared, because I am also your child, a member of the Sergeyev family. She resolved, therefore, I will righteously win the succession war and become the family head. Winning at this hunting festival will be the stepping stone for me. The Duke said nothing when he heard Lilian's arrogant words. Then he calmly accepted, okay, opportunity should be given fairly. The Duke decided, Lilian Sergeyev, I allow you to participate in this hunting festival. Lilian was happy to be accepted to participate in the hunt. I did it. Finally, I can participate in the hunting festival. Lilian quickly bowed. Thank you, father. At this time the Duke spoke out his doubts. Are you planning to bring that puppet to the hunt? Lilian was confused and flustered. Yes, the Duke said, I heard the servant say, you are always trying to protect it. Hearing him say that, Lilian quickly realized who he was talking about. Ah, do you mean Eden? Yes, that is the gift you gave me, so I will take my leave to prepare for the hunt. Then Lilian left the room and thought, it is about Eden again. Could it be that father really knows about his curse? Lilian recalled a few days ago, on the first time entering the underground library, I gathered all the books about magic engineering that I saw, and then, unintentionally, I picked up a special book. Thanks to that book, I understood the nature of Eden's curse, the stake of Baal. The person who gets this curse, right before the soul perishes, will become blindly obsessed with the last person they see. A terrible curse, I do not know why. I have a feeling that father knew about Eden's curse, but still deliberately gave him to me. Why? On the Duke's side, he said, because I thought Lilian was difficult to protect herself, so I gave him to her as a guardian. The Duke thought, even when the saint is reborn, the stake of Baal is still a curse that cannot be resolved. If Lilian can resolve it. Thinking of this, the Duke felt satisfied. Interesting. Perhaps, the battle for the right to inherit will have an interesting twist in this hunting festival. The flag was waved. Finally, the day of the hunting festival arrived. Someone spoke, come on, Team Lilian, is everyone ready? Everyone quickly replied, ready, princess. Everyone has gathered completely in the best state. The goal of Team Lilian in this hunting festival is to free Eden and win the prize. Lilian moved forward with firm eyes. Okay, let us go. On the Duke's side, the steward informed him, young Master Edward ultimately could not participate in the hunting festival. The steward explained, although the master personally led the team to hunt down last time, I heard that the magical creatures are still rampant around the territory. So there is no other way. Indeed, this time I do not know. The steward stopped him. That is why it is too much for the master to participate in the hunting festival at this time. You also know clearly, if you try too hard, you may never recover. But the Duke did not listen to the steward. The body is just something that wears out, Jarito. I must take advantage while I can. The steward did not know how to advise him anymore when he heard that. On Lilian's side, she was looking at herself through the water thinking, Duke Sergeyev, as the founding meritorious subject. He was granted many blessings by the royal family, from outstanding appearance to extraordinary physique. However, in exchange for that blessing, the Surgenev family vowed loyalty. They must become the sword of the empire, dedicating their lives to protect it. To forge the strongest and unparalleled sword for the empire, all members of the family are bound by a curse, unable to leave the territory until the youngest heir completes the coming-of-age ceremony. In other words, those with the Surgenev bloodline only have two ways to leave the north. One is to win in the battle for the inheritance position. The other is to die and become a corpse. In other words, I cannot leave the north unless I defeat Edward or die. Therefore, what I need is the reward of this hunting festival, Eternal Frost. At least that is what everyone believes, but according to the hidden setting in the game that only I know, it does not kill but only puts the user into a state of suspended animation. Lillian made a decision, therefore. My plan is to temporarily freeze my heart, feign death, and then leave the north. She resolved, therefore I must win in this hunting festival. Suddenly Eden came and asked Lillian, was the master so weak from birth? Being called weak made Lillian angry and refuted. I am not weak, I am just a little dizzy from riding a horse for the first time. For so long. Lillian regained her spirit and hugged Eden playfully. I am fine now, anyway, I am from the Surgenev family, my physical foundation is not bad, do you want to try my arm? Being touched suddenly made Eden blush and avoid. Do not hug me everywhere. Seeing Eden's reaction made Lillian unable to restrain herself. You react like that, how can I not want to tease you? At this time someone came and said, so you are here, Miss Surgenev. Lillian turned to look and wondered when she heard that, This person is Clement Vietro, the heir of Duke Vietro. Clement was stunned and asked, Miss, did you just call me a southern hick? Lillian covered her mouth and turned away to deny. When did I say that? Clement wondered. Why are you talking so casually to me? Clement crossed his arms uncomfortably. The northerners really do not know any etiquette. Someone younger dares to talk casually to a senior. Lillian was uncomfortable when she was said that and asked, Younger, young master, we do not look that different in height. Clement was angry when his weakness was hit and pointed directly at Lillian. And scolded, impolite and rude. You really are a northerner. Suddenly Lillian came close and whispered in Clement's ear. Is there anything you are dissatisfied with us, you southern shorty? Clement was even more uncomfortable at this time and said, Shorty, how dare you use such insulting words? This guy really has a complex about his height. Clement was really annoyed. He originally wanted to make friends in good faith, because after all, we are the only two duke families of the empire. It is not enough to insult me. Now you are dragging the whole south into it. Clement pointed directly at Lillian and declared war. Princess Lillian Surgenev, I officially challenge the princess. Seeing the two sides so tense, everyone cheered. The young master is so majestic, it is going to be a fight. The knights wondered to each other. Who is fighting who? I heard it is between the Surgenev and Vietro families. Lillian thought, you want to put the Surgenev family down before the hunting festival. And you see me as the easiest opponent to eat. Suddenly Lillian said to Clement. Young master, it seems you are very lucky. Clement was confused. What do you mean? Lillian smiled happily and said, it just so happens that you caught me going out without bringing any weapons. If the person standing here was Edward or Lawrence. Lillian quickly attacked Clement. You can't beat the guys your age, so you have to find a younger girl to cause trouble. Is this the chivalry that you southerners are so proud of? Clement was speechless by Lillian and could only shout, shut up. The knights looked down on Clement after hearing that. No wonder he suddenly started talking. It turns out he was aiming at the youngest young lady to provoke from the beginning. I heard that the Vietro family is famous for being gentlemen of the south. But why? Lillian bluntly stated, even if the young master uses dirty tricks to defeat me, you can't prove that southern swordsmanship is superior to the north. Lillian smiled and said, the strongest sword in the empire belongs to our Surgenev family. As soon as Lillian finished speaking, Clement wanted to swing his sword and slash her. Will you shut your mouth or not, you northern trash? Seeing Clement being so stupid made Lillian feel bored. You are really childish and immature. Lillian then glanced at Eden. Eden quickly understood. Then jumped up high and attacked Clement. Eden kicked Clement hard in the face, making Lillian happy. Very good, Eden. Clement was caught off guard and quickly backed away. Cough, what the hell? Taking advantage of his inattention, Eden immediately punched him in the face again. Lillian was worried. That is enough. Eden kept punching Clement non-stop. Lillian ran over to stop him. Stop, Eden, stop, you will kill him if you keep hitting him. Eden's eyes became sharp, reminding Lillian. He was going to kill you. Clement's face was bruised and battered, but he still did not shut his mouth and cursed. Damn it, you damn brat. Seeing that Clement could still talk, Eden wanted to swing a few more times. You can still move, but Lillian quickly stopped him. Okay, night Eden, I understand how you feel. Lillian changed the subject. You swore allegiance to me. So how can you let the young Master Vietro go when he dares to call me a northern hick? Lillian pushed Eden away and did not forget to tell Clement, young master, what happened today is a pity. Just send the treatment bill to the Surgenev family. I will also forget all the rude words that the young master said to me. Clement lay on the ground and was very uncomfortable watching the two leave. Suddenly a blonde girl appeared from nowhere and spoke up to stop them. You dared to beat my knight so badly and planned to just leave like that. Lillian and Eden turned around to look when they heard that voice. As soon as everyone saw the girl, they stuttered, Your Highness. Everyone bowed respectfully and greeted, Greetings, Your Highness. Lillian was confused. So why did you personally come to such a dangerous and harsh hunting festival? Your Highness stepped in front of Lillian. I thought I would be dealt with, but Your Highness just walked past, making Lillian confused. You are walking right past me. That Your Highness went to look at Eden's face and felt it. You look familiar. Hearing that, Lillian suddenly remembered and worried. That is right, thinking about it carefully. Eden is the illegitimate child of the current queen. He was abandoned at birth. So the two of them have never met, but could it be that Your Highness has noticed something? Your Highness said you look familiar. Lillian was surprised when she heard that. What did the princess just say? Luckily you did not notice anything, but that guy is your younger brother. Your Highness wanted to touch Eden but was pushed away, but Your Highness did not blame him but praised him instead. Oh, you have personality. Lillian remembered the royal family tree. To be precise, the princess and the princes are all children of the late queen and the emperor, while Eden is the child of the current queen and a demon in an adulterous relationship. In terms of blood they have nothing to do with each other. Anyway, my goal is to bring Eden out, but the royal family has abandoned Eden. How can I let him go back? Moreover, as an attendant, Lillian quickly stood between Your Highness and Eden to stop her. Absolutely not. Your Highness was uncomfortable when she saw Lillian take this action. You dare to block a royal like me? Lillian quickly bowed and apologized. I was rude, but Your Highness Princess, this is not my knight, but my doll, a precious doll bestowed by my father. Your Highness looked at Lillian confused. Giving a person under the name of a doll. Lillian felt powerless. Even the royal family does not have the concept of treating people as dolls. What is my father thinking? Your Highness felt that everything became logical. If you say it is Duke Sergenev, it is reasonable, so are you willing to give your doll to me? In terms of value, I can pay any amount of money. Lillian quickly refused. I am really sorry, no matter how much you pay, I can't give it to you. Your Highness was very uncomfortable after hearing that. Why, I will pay the same price as the rare items in the north. I will give you everything you want. Seeing the noise on this side, the Duke came over and asked, Is there anything you want with my daughter? Your Highness turned to look at the Duke and replied, Duke Sergenev, this is the first time we have met. Then she looked at Eden and asked, The Duke gave that doll to the young lady. Right, I want you to give that boy to me. It is not reasonable to use a doll that the young lady has already used. But I will let that go. Looking at Eden shining brightly at this time made Lillian feel powerless. Eden's already sparkling beauty is now even more radiant. If I had known, I would have smeared charcoal on his face. The Duke immediately refused. Your Highness Princess, I am sorry, but that is not possible. Your Highness did not understand why if it is the young lady. Can't you easily find this doll again? If not, I will send a new one here. The Duke said frankly, that is not just a doll, but an item to protect my daughter. Lillian was very surprised after hearing the Duke's words. Father sent Eden to protect me. I am the gift receiver. I am hearing this for the first time. Your Highness asked uncomfortably. You mean the Duke's daughter Sergenev? The sword of the Empire can't protect herself without a guard. The Duke frankly affirmed, if it is a late blooming flower, then we need to protect that bud. Hearing the Duke's words made Lillian's heart waver. Even I have long given up my swordsmanship talent. Does father still see me as an unopened bud? Your Highness still insisted on having Eden. If so, I will send the knights in the royal family to protect the young lady. At this time someone called out, Your Highness. That person came over and whispered, Please go back, this is not the time to do such things. Lillian wondered when she saw that person. Who is this person? You are not carrying any weapons. Lillian recognized him by his clothes. Could it be a mage? Your Highness decided to leave after hearing that. Okay, let us go. Take young Master Vietro with you. The knight immediately obeyed. Yes, Your Highness Princess. The mage bowed and apologized to Lillian. Then, sorry for the inconvenience, Princess Lillian Sergenev. Then that mage winked to show his handsomeness, making Lillian's face confused. Looking at the mage's back, Lillian really did not understand. What is that? Anyway, it ended thanks to that. Suddenly the Duke looked at both of them without saying anything. So Lillian spoke up, Father, is there anything else? Suddenly he drew his sword, making Lillian scared and backing away. Wait, why are you attacking so suddenly? Eden quickly stood up to block a blow for Lillian. Eden. She shouted in confusion, Father, what is this? Eden blocked a blow from the Duke and was hit so hard that he was in pain. Cough. Suddenly the Duke said, That look has returned. Lillian worriedly asked about Eden's condition. Eden, are you okay? The Duke asked again, How did you resolve it? Hearing that question, Lillian quickly understood, so that is why Father looked at Eden like that. Just by looking at it, Father recognized that the curse has been resolved. The Duke really could not understand. Just to break the curse of the doll, you need the heart of a dead dragon, Lillian quickly replied. Thanks to him, I avoided the disaster of almost being killed by father. The Duke did not want to argue with Lillian anymore and turned to remind her. The opening ceremony is about to begin. I have prepared according to your request, do not be late. Looking at the Duke's back made Lillian confused. What exactly is going on anyway? I do not understand what father is thinking. The opening horn sounded. The flag waved high. Thousands of people stood under the snow. The Duke stepped up high, declaring loudly, for the god of ice and eternity, for Eater. Everyone shouted loudly, for Eater. After a while, everyone was silent. At this time, Lillian stepped up to the stage and thought, right before the hunting competition, I asked father for something. That is, Lillian stood up on the high platform, making the knights confused. What is it? Are not we going to start the competition? What is it? Who is that girl? She looks like the youngest daughter of the Surgeven family. Lillian began to speak before starting the official hunt. I have something to say to the knights, the right to speak on this platform. She warned, a warning, from now on, do not go near the snow mountain range if you want to survive. The Duke standing next to him was also confused when he heard that. Canon was excited below. Oh, princess, you are so strong from the start. Ravi was worried. Princess, Jean could only hold his head and complain in his heart. Suddenly, what is the princess talking about? Jean really did not understand. Clearly it is this year's hunting festival. A person with strength like Jean could not possibly die just because of slipping. He must have been caught in a major disaster. And if we are talking about the unexpected disaster that happened on the Luminara snowfield, then 9 out of 10 it is. The knights did not seem to believe it much and discussed with each other. What nonsense is that? The most monsters appear on the snow mountain, but she tells us not to get close. Is the young lady planning to monopolize the prey? Seeing the reaction of the knights, Lillian felt that it was as expected. Not only did they not believe her words, but they also reacted negatively. Of course, I had already predicted it. Lillian pointed towards the snow mountain and told everyone to look. Everyone, look at that snow mountain. Those who came to Luminara early should have noticed that the monsters are unusually quiet compared to usual. The Duke standing next to him also silently observed. After hearing what Lillian said, everyone looked towards the snow mountain and felt it. Now that I think about it, the mountain is indeed strangely quiet. Lillian looked down at Ravi and Jean and thought, frankly, what is important to me is to protect myself and my teammates from the predicted danger. I do not intend to please or seek anyone's trust. Lillian again spoke out her understanding. Before a major natural disaster occurs, wild animals always sense it before humans and run away. Her eyes became serious. This silence is a warning from wild animals. Oh well, it is up to you, but you only have one life, think carefully. Then Lillian turned down. Yes, that is all I need. The Duke asked when he saw her turn away. Is it over? Lillian replied, yes, thank you for arranging this meeting. Hearing that, the Duke announced, then let us start the hunting festival. A moment later, a lizard was shot dead. Got it. Lillian held the lizard in her hand with a radiant face. Canon praised Lillian non-stop. The princess is so good, amazing. Ravi also chimed in. That is so impressive. Princess Jean looked down on her with that size converted. It is only about 3 points. Jin analyzed. The champion team of the last hunting festival scored about 10,000 points, so we need to hunt about 3,000 more. Being told so bluntly by Jin made Lillian disappointed. It really spoiled the mood. Ravi looked towards the mountain and wondered, where did all the monsters go? Even at the foot of the snow mountain, it can't be this empty. Eden observed the monsters' footprints and judged. There are clearly still traces of monsters that were here. Even though they disappeared a few days ago, maybe they moved south. Lillian was a little worried after hearing that. South, do not tell me they are aiming at Surgenev City. Jean comforted. It is during hibernation, so they can't have enough strength to flood to the city. Suddenly Jean glanced at Lillian and wondered, but, princess, do you really think there will be an avalanche? Seeing Lillian staring at him made Jean confused. Then smiled uncertainly and said maybe. Jean was uncomfortable after hearing that uncertain statement. What do you mean maybe? Lillian reminded everyone, do not forget to keep the arranged formation. All three replied in unison, yes, princess. Jean really could not understand at this time. Why am I, a knight commander, the one being protected? Lillian stammered after hearing that. That is because the flag of death is flying on your head. She winked and lied, because you are a very important person. Jean reminded everyone, hey, if nothing happens on the snow mountain today, the rumors about the princess will be even more intense, especially the southerners. Lillian happily and calmly said, it is even better if nothing happens. I do not care. It does not matter if I am labeled a liar or anything. Have they ever said anything good about me? Jean then looked towards the snow mountain. Well, that is right. Most of them did not bother to listen to the princess and just went up the mountain. Canon wondered, is that a knight from Vietro? Ravi was sure. It seems so, looking at the emblem on the armor. It is them. Hearing the conversation of the two made Lillian surprised. You can see the emblem from here. Suddenly Ravi pointed in one direction. Oh, there is also the princess's entourage over there. Lillian was very surprised when she heard that and could not believe it. What? Seeing the princess and her entourage heading towards the snow mountain made Lillian confused. Could it be that even the princess does not know how to cherish her life? If she gets caught in an avalanche on our territory, then everything will be a big trouble. The princess's knight stepped on the snow and said, "The ground in the Luminara snowfield is famous for being extremely stable. What avalanche?" That knight could not believe it. You have to believe in what is believable. Who would believe the words of that useless young lady? The knight in front mocked Lillian. Even the princess is like that. In the end, no one believes it and just pulls everyone up the mountain, right? At this time, a knight felt strange, but why is it so strange today? Not to mention monsters, you can't even see an animal. The snow mountain was empty without a single monster, making the knight bored. I have not seen anything the whole time. Even if there is no avalanche, it is a waste of effort to climb up. One of the knights felt something. What is that sound? The ground suddenly moved, making the knights panic. Wait, the ground. The knights ran down quickly with fear. It is really an avalanche, run. Lillian was worried when she saw what was happening. I hoped it would not happen. But the avalanche finally came as expected. Jean Hillis really died in an avalanche during this year's hunting festival. Lillian's knights were also very surprised. God, oh my God, is it really an avalanche? Before being swept away, we must quickly retreat to a safe place. Lillian stopped them, wait. Then she threw a ball to Cannon. Hey, Knight Cannon, take this. Cannon took it and was confused. Princess, what is this? Lillian ordered, when I give the signal, throw it with me. Knight Cannon. She was worried. Even though it is still a prototype, I did not expect to have to use it in this situation. It must operate smoothly. Okay, Princess, on this side, tell everyone hide behind me. Seeing a shield being formed made Lillian surprised. Is the princess a mage? The knights were excited and happy. Oh, your highness princess, I heard that you are a great mage. It turns out the rumors are true, we are saved. At this time, the shield created by the princess showed cracks, making everyone panic. It is not good, the princess's shield is about to break. I hoped I would not need to take action, but it seems that you are also reaching your limit. The princess gritted her teeth and tried to resist, cough. Lillian sat on Cannon's shoulder and commanded, Knight Cannon, now. Lillian looked at the ball in her hand. She really did not want to use it. She really did not want to use this method, but with just the shield she could not hold out against that avalanche. Even for a moment. Lillian decided, I will secretly transfer a little more magic power into it. The snowstorm came down, making the knights scared and covering their faces with their hands. At this time, another shield appeared to protect the princess. The princess was confused. What the hell is this? Suddenly someone called out, Your Highness Princess. Are you okay? It turned out that the voice was from Lillian. The princess was confused. Immediately a knight carried the princess up and wanted to escape. Right now, take this opportunity. Quickly retreat, protect the princess. The princess was carried away suddenly and was very confused. Haha. Lillian on this side was also a little tired and wanted to fall, making Eden and Cannon worried. Master, princess. Lillian with a pale face told the two of them, I am fine, retreat quickly. She was in pain in her heart. Blood is my life, but if I do not transfer more magic power, the shield would definitely have shattered. Jean went ahead and ordered, Cannon, escort the princess immediately. We have to leave here first. Cannon hugged Lillian and ran after hearing that. On this side, a centipede suddenly appeared, making the knights panic. They screamed and ran away. Centipede, snow centipede. Why did the snow centipede appear at this time? Jean looked back worriedly. Snow centipede. The time when it wakes up after 200 years of hibernation is approaching, but why is it right now? Lillian, with a little strength left, ordered, Snow centipede, run away quickly. Then she passed out. Seeing her pass out, Jean ordered, Cannon, faster. The snow mountain had collapsed to the foot, making Cannon unstable and dropping Lillian. Eden turned back and saw Cannon drop Lillian. Then shouted loudly, Princess. At this time, the memories of her aunt reappeared. She criticized a consolation prize. You think this is also called a prize? Her uncle also looked down on her. I thought I was a golden princess or something, not willing to do another day. Just know how to rush into competitions, but you only brought back a consolation prize. They scolded her badly. You are really useless if you can't learn anything. Then what is this useful for, you useless freeloader? Then threw the prize at her. Lillian was sad at times like this, but whenever I felt that I was really useless, I wished I could become a machine or a robot. Eden's master's voice rang out. Besides that, someone called Lillian in her ear. Lillian quickly woke up. Then she saw Eden worried in front of her. You are finally awake. Then Eden coughed up a large mouthful of blood, making Lillian worried and quickly sat up. Eden, what is it? Why are you suddenly bleeding? Wait, what is the wound on your arm? Eden stopped her. It is nothing big, do not make a fuss. Lillian retorted after hearing Eden's words. What do you mean nothing big? The snow centipede has appeared. Cough. Were you attacked by the snow centipede? Cough, cough. Lillian became worried. How long have I been unconscious? She stammered and asked. What about the snow centipede? Eden replied what he knew after hearing that. Snow centipede. After falling down here, I do not know what happened anymore. Lillian remembered. That is right. I fell down. You fell at the same time. Cough, cough. But wait, where is your thermal underwear? Then Lillian noticed the 2 coats on her body. Are not I wearing both of them? Lillian worriedly told Eden, Eden, take this, you are cold too. Eden immediately refused. I do not feel very cold, you wear it. Lillian worried, but Eden coldly said, I do not want to have to clean up a corpse in this place, so just wear it. Then Eden did not forget to tease, you look no different from half a corpse, you are still shivering and trying. Lillian looked around and asked in wonder, but where is this? I have to know where I am to find a way out. Eden sighed. Luckily the pit is not too deep, the bottom is also soft soil, but the rocks from the avalanche have blocked all the exits. They are so tightly blocked that they can't be broken with just human strength. Just as he finished speaking, a pain came, making Eden hurt. Looking at Eden's arm scratched and bloody made Lillian worried. The wound is more swollen than before. Lillian sat up. Your wound. Eden acted like an adult and said, it is nothing. Suddenly Lillian remembered, you also coughed up blood just now, you are poisoned. She scolded uncomfortably, what do you mean nothing? There is clearly a problem. I do not know how long he has been poisoned, but I have to find an antidote right away. If I delay, I may have to cut off that arm. Lillian stood up and searched around. There must be something that can help us get out. Then she saw her bag and was happy. Oh, my bag, thank goodness you kept it, Eden said, but almost everything inside is gone. Lillian did not care and said, it is okay, at least there is still a shield. She held the shield in her hand happily. With this, we can get out. She started it for a while, but the shield still did not work, making Lillian confused. Why does not it work? Before Lillian could think of a way, Eden coughed up a large mouthful of blood again, making her worried and called Eden. Lillian observed the color of Eden's blood and did not understand. Why is your blood so dark? Maybe the poison has penetrated deep into the internal organs. Lillian continued to fix the shield. I have to get out immediately, cough, and find an antidote. Just activate the shield and cough, cough. Suddenly Eden shouted, do not try to do anything anymore, just sit still, you are just making things worse. Eden stopped her, so just lie still, do not make me worry, that is helping. Lillian hurriedly said after hearing that, oh, I am sorry. Her eyes were very gloomy at this time. Eden is right, I am not as strong as him. But in this situation, if even that is useless, what else can I do? A voice rang in Lillian's ear, useless, really too useless. You useless freeloader, just know how to leech off. Suddenly Eden picked up the shield and said, I was wrong. Eden begged, what I just said was wrong, do not look at me with that look. Making Lillian surprised after hearing Eden say that, Eden. Seeing Eden's face flushed red. Then she took the shield and observed it. Then she discovered, wait, this may be. Lillian came over and said excitedly, Eden, if it stops working just because it is cold, then maybe adding more magic power will make it work again. We can get out of here. Seeing Lillian getting so close, Eden quickly stopped her. Wait, you are too close. Suddenly a monster appeared. Eden quickly grabbed Lillian's hand to stop her. Stop. Eden worriedly said, you fainted from using magic power just now, and now you are planning to use it again. Are you crazy? Lillian pondered in Eden's arms after hearing that. Eden decided, damn it, I absolutely won't let you freeze to death in this place. By any means I will get out, so don't overdo it. Lillian laid in Eden's arms and could not help but be moved. The 4 sides were sealed off. The only thing they could rely on was each other's warmth. That is right, if I faint again I can't do anything. Moreover, Eden is the main character of the original game. Being next to the main character, you can't die so easily. Thinking of this, she looked up and saw that the monster was getting closer and closer, making Lillian panic. Wow, what is that? Lillian called Eden. Eden, look, the monster. Eden quickly recognized it. That thing. Don't worry, I have already dealt with it, Eden said with extreme confidence. Making Lillian confused. You said you dealt with it? Eden confirmed. Yeah, while you were unconscious. Lillian went towards the monster but was stopped by Eden. Hey, that is a venomous spider, do not get too close. Lillian still tried to observe, looking closely. There are traces of a fierce battle. Wait. Lillian was surprised. What is this corpse? Is it an ice spider? According to what Lillian knew, the Demon King's partner in the game only had one antidote item, which was the venom sac of the ice spider. Because the female lead in the game was constantly being poisoned, this was a must-have item. Using it would greatly reduce stamina, but it was the perfect antidote. It could dissolve all poison states. Thinking, then Lillian looked towards Eden's wound. As long as there is the venom sac of the ice spider. Thinking, then Lillian quickly went towards the venomous spider, making Eden worried. You are crazy. Why are you touching the corpse of the venomous spider so carelessly? Lillian gently said, it is okay. In Surgenev, everyone is taught how to handle poisonous monster corpses. After searching for a while, she quickly took out what she needed. Got it. This can detoxify your wound. Looking at the gloomy thing in her hand made Eden a little unbelievable. What? Do not tell me you are making me eat that thing. Lillian forced. Yeah, just swallow it straight down. Hurry up. Eden showed a little disgust. Ugh, Lillian urged. Come on, hurry up. In the end, Eden still had to listen to Lillian and swallow that thing down, then expressed his feelings. It is too bitter and terrible, Lillian happily said. Good medicine is usually bitter. She secretly rejoiced. Luckily you obediently drank it more than I thought. After drinking it, Eden turned to ask, Hey, is it really okay to drink this? The taste is too strange. As soon as he finished speaking, Eden felt dizzy. Lillian still stood there watching. Then she saw Eden fall down unconscious. Lillian came to observe Eden's condition. Originally this is an item that drains stamina, so he will probably sleep for a while. Suddenly a coldness came, making Lillian shiver. But why is it getting colder and colder? She worried about Eden, it must be cold lying on the ground like that. Then looked at the cloak on her body. Covered both of them, it is just that I saw him cold, and also, the thermal underwear is also with me. Well, anyway, it helps both of us stay warm. Lying next to Eden made Lillian shy. I have to clear all these rocks to get out. Lillian resolved, anyway, do not worry, Eden. Suddenly at this time a sound rang out, making Lillian startled. Quickly sat up and observed the surroundings. What is it? Is it an aftershock? I thought something appeared, but it turned out to be Lawrence arriving and calling Lillian. Seeing Lawrence find her made Lillian happy and called, brother. Lawrence jumped down below, making Lillian surprised. Normally you argue so much. I did not expect him to come and save me. Lawrence landed on the ground. Lillian quickly woke Eden up. Eden, wake up, Eden, wake up, Eden, we are safe. As soon as Lawrence came down, he ridiculed Lillian. You must be very scared, crying and waiting for your brother to come and save you. But wait, you too. What are you doing? Looking at the scene at this time, you really can't help but make others misunderstand. Lillian was embarrassed and quickly explained, if we did not do this, we would have frozen to death. Lawrence heard this and came over to step on Eden and said, well, that is true, but why is this damn brat sleeping? Are you making the princess guard him? Lillian stopped him. Do not touch him, he is injured. Lawrence said, anyway, do not worry now, I have come with father. Father is probably coming soon. As soon as he finished speaking, Lawrence looked up. Then he was surprised, father. The two siblings looked at each other in fear. Not father but something else. Lillian worried, could it be the snow centipede? Is it still around here? Lawrence quickly put on his glasses. I thought it had gone somewhere else because it was so quiet just now. Lillian looked at the snow centipede worriedly. It is really over. All my magic engineering items are gone. What should I do to fight that giant snow centipede? Eden is also sleeping now. Can Lawrence fight alone? Suddenly a white light shined in the sky, attracting the attention of the snow centipede. A sword slashed it in half. It turned out that the one who slashed it was the Duke. After slashing it, he landed on the ground with blood-stained armor. The two siblings happily called father. The Duke shielded the two siblings and asked, are you two safe? Even though the snow centipede was slashed many times by the Duke, it still did not die, making Lillian worried and turned to ask Lawrence, brother, is father okay alone? Lawrence helplessly said, although I am not willing, but if we stay, we will only make things worse. Suddenly Lillian discovered something on the snow centipede. What is that? Thorns. At this time, the snow centipede launched the poisonous thorns on its body, making Lillian worried. It is pouring towards this side. Jean quickly jumped out to shield Lillian. Damn it. Jean turned back and ordered, get out of the way quickly, princess, the thorns are shooting over there. Lillian was scared when she heard that. It is not good. The thorns are falling everywhere. There is no place to avoid. Suddenly Cannon rushed over and shielded Lillian with his body, princess. A layer of protection appeared on Cannon's body, making Lillian happy and praised, Knight Cannon, you handled it very well just now. You made perfect use of the armor's features, condensing magic power to strengthen the shield in an instant. Cannon was excited when he was praised and carried Eden on his shoulder. I am so excited to be praised like this, Lillian advised. Be careful, using too much will quickly deplete your energy. At this time, several other knights came to suggest, we will also support you, young lady. Jean turned to call princess. Everyone quickly set off. Let us go, escort the princess. Seeing the knights of Vietro made Lillian surprised. Are the knights of Vietro also here? Lawrence on this side used his glasses to observe and helplessly exclaimed, damn it. Abyss, in front is a black abyss that is deep and bottomless. The knights escorted Lillian back together. Seeing that there was no one in the back, Lillian looked back but Jean stopped her and advised, princess, I will take you down first. What about Cannon? Lillian opposed when she saw the situation like this. No, running away alone at this time is useless. Father can't defeat the monster alone. Lillian turned to ask Lawrence as if Lawrence also understood. You also know, right, 200 years ago before that monster fell asleep again, the Surgeonev castle was destroyed. If this continues, history will repeat itself. We have to end everything right here, Lillian said with a very serious face. Making Lawrence believe and ask, do you have a way to defeat that monster? Lillian awkwardly replied, not yet, I am still thinking about how to do it. Lawrence helplessly replied after hearing that, Lillian was uncomfortable. The biggest problem is that we do not have a really effective method. She held her head and regretted, I wish at least one of my weapons was here. Cannon was confused after hearing that and asked, princess, weapons? Cannon happily raised one of Lillian's weapons and smiled and said, while looking for the princess, Cannon discovered it. Seeing the bow in Cannon's hand made Lillian happy. My divine bow. Lillian aimed the bow and did not forget to praise Cannon. Well done, Knight Cannon. I name you the clear eyes of the year. Cannon was happy. This is the first time I have been praised like this. Lillian thought, when I was struggling to believe that I could become an excellent swordsman. Usually, the most effective way to defeat a monster is to aim at the heart, but the weakness of a centipede-shaped monster is the area near the tail where the venom is. Although I know the weakness of the snow centipede, Lillian still felt it was difficult, but unless it is stupid, it won't be easy to reveal that weakness. Lillian decided, therefore we have to force it to come out, we have to push it into a corner, making it have to use the venom. Lillian spoke and focused. Team Lillian gather. After everyone gathered, Lillian instructed everyone, Knight Cannon, use your armor to rush to the front, and Knight Ravi, you have mastered how to use the armor shoes I gave you. Right, Knight Jean and brother, the two of you coordinate the attack, push it as much as possible. Not long after dividing the work, Lillian wanted everyone to set off, okay. Then, suddenly a voice rang out, making Lillian pay attention. The Vietro Knights suddenly suggested, young lady, can we help? Lillian was happy to agree when she saw that everyone also wanted to contribute. Of course, if everyone helps, the success rate of this plan will skyrocket. After dividing the work, Lillian looked towards the snow centipede and said, everyone, charge. The knights quickly charged forward. Ravi rushed forward according to Lillian's instructions. Attacked the snow centipede, ha. At this time, Lawrence and Jean also coordinated well with each other and ran over. The snow centipede roared in pain when it was attacked by the knights. Lillian at this time had seen the Duke father. Seeing the Duke so quickly able to coordinate made Lillian admire. As expected, without saying it clearly, everyone immediately understood the plan. At this time, a Vietro knight was hit by the snow centipede. The snow centipede quickly revealed its weakness. Lillian timed it perfectly and thought, it finally retracted its head. Lillian reminded the knights from above, be careful under your feet, it is burrowing deep inside. Right at this moment, the snow centipede's tail appeared, making Lillian secretly happy. It appeared, the tail. Lillian pulled the bowstring taut, just once. She released the bowstring. The arrow quickly rushed forward, making Lillian happy. Aiming is not a problem. The arrow pierced straight into the snow centipede's tail and exploded with a bang. She smugly thought, this is a state-of-the-art bow, with both a guidance function and an integrated bomb. The knights were happy when they saw the explosion. It hit the target. It is Princess Sergenev, a master of archery. The explosion was still going on, making the knights freeze and exclaim, the destructive power is really terrifying, a bow that even has a second explosion. Lillian on this side was sad and in tears. Ah, my life, not just a week, but I may have burned a whole year. The knights informed each other, it is writhing in pain. The princess's attack was effective. We must finish it off right now. At this time, the head of the snow centipede appeared. It opened its sharp teeth, tacking towards the Duke. Lawrence worriedly called father. Jean was also worried. Duke. Lillian on this side was also trembling with worry for the Duke. Ah, father. The Duke was exhausted with his whole body covered in blood. Then rushed towards the snow centipede, directly slashing down on it, making the snow centipede cough up blood. The snow centipede's body collapsed and the knights told each other, it is collapsing, everyone get out of the way. The snow centipede's body crashed on the ground. The knights were happy and cheered. The snow centipede is dead. The Duke and young Lady Sergenev have defeated the snow centipede. Seeing that the Duke seemed unable to hold on any longer, Lillian ran over with a worried expression. Father, is your leg okay? Suddenly the knights surrounded Lillian and praised, young lady, you are extraordinary. She was confused when she was praised, ha. Then everyone surrounded her, making her even more confused, ha. The knights threw Lillian into the sky and cheered, long live, young Lady Sergenev, long live. Lillian stopped them, stop, do not cheer me. The knights with smiles on their faces were very grateful to Lillian. If it were not for the young lady, Sergenev would have been destroyed by that monster again. The young lady is the hero who saved Sergenev. Lillian was really confused after hearing that, a hero, me, the one who used to be a burden to Sergenev. At this time a voice rang out and affirmed, that is right, Lillian, if it were not for you we would not have been able to win, I owe you my life. It turned out that it was an affirmation from Lawrence. Seeing Lawrence's happy expression made Lillian unable to help but be moved and wondered, what is it, this second brother, why is he calling my name so strangely? While she was moved, the knights continued to cheer, long live. Lillian was startled when she was thrown up suddenly, do not throw me anymore. In the evening, the knights lit a fire and sat around drinking wine, celebrating that the disaster of the north was finally destroyed. Congratulations. Lillian looked out from the tent. Seeing everyone happy, she was also happy. Everyone is excited. Thinking of this, she felt, that is right, over the years, the Surgenev castle has been ravaged by the snow centipede countless times. At this time, Lillian looked at Eden, who was unconscious. She poked Eden's cheek and decided, I have to find a way to take him away with the knights of the other families. If he was not there, I would have frozen to death in that pit. Lillian was really grateful to Eden. Thanks to you, I survived. This debt I will definitely repay. At this time, Jean lifted the curtain and came in and called, Princess, if you are feeling better, would you like to have a meal together? Everyone in the castle is anxiously looking for you. Hearing that everyone was looking for her made Lillian confused me. After Lillian came out, the knights said excitedly as soon as they saw her, The young lady is out. Young lady, you are finally out. Everyone welcomed Lillian warmly. Everyone is waiting. The meat is delicious. Young lady, this way. We have prepared a seat right in front of the fire. Everyone kept calling Lillian over here, please come this way. Young lady, she saw this and stood in place confused. What is this? Why is everyone suddenly so friendly? When I was still in the castle, you looked at me like I was a stranger. Lawrence spoke and called Lillian to the seat next to him. Lillian, do not go near those weirdos. Come over here. Lillian was even more confused when she saw Lawrence's reaction. Is this second brother drunk too? The knights criticized Lawrence. Hey, young Master Lawrence, it is sad to say that. I was also right next to the young lady throughout the battle. Lawrence angrily scolded. Shut up, why are you suddenly acting so familiar? Lillian quickly refused everyone and left. Do not worry about me, I plan to eat with my group. Lawrence petrified after hearing that. At this time, Lillian remembered Lawrence's kindness. Well, it was also thanks to this second brother that I got out of the pit safely. On this side, Cannon waved his hand while eating chicken drumsticks and called Lillian over. Princess, this way. Ravi thoughtfully grilled meat for Lillian. We have grilled it for you, it is delicious to eat. Jean also went to invite her. Please sit here, receiving a warm welcome. Lillian thanked them, Lillian thought. But anyway, at times like this, I should be with my teammates who fought with me. Suddenly Jean hesitated, wanting to say something to Lillian. Princess, I have something to say to you. She was focused on looking at the meat and exclaimed. It is delicious, then replied to Jean. Jean at this time admitted the guilt of the whole group. Not being able to protect the princess is our obvious mistake. No matter how the princess punishes us, we will accept it. Lillian did not want to fuss after hearing that and happily said, Today is a happy day. Is not it good to just celebrate? This is a natural disaster, it is not your fault. Am I so petty that I would punish people for accidents? Jean gloomily wanted to say something more, but was interrupted by another knight. The princess is right. That knight threw Lillian into the sky. Today we must be busy praising the young lady's contributions. The young lady shined 1,000 times more than us knights. It is really amazing. I did not expect young lady Lillian to be so powerful. I did not expect the young lady to also be a mage. Lillian could not help but spit out all the food she had just eaten after hearing that. The knights looked at Lillian with glittering eyes and asked, When did the young lady learn that terrifying magic? Lillian stopped. Cough, wait, there is a misunderstanding here. That knight still did not shut up and exclaimed, looking at that scene. I even thought a great mage from the magic tower had appeared. Lillian was helpless, damn it. More and more knights are coming. The knight talked about the explosion. That explosion was as brilliant and magnificent as the sun burning, and was immediately stopped by Lillian. That is definitely not magic. The knights were confused after hearing Lillian deny it. But it clearly looks like magic, Lillian quickly explained. It is not magic, but magic engineering. That is an explosion created by an improved machine, using magic power as the operating energy. The two knights looked at each other after hearing that. Machines, God, they were a little unbelieving. It is too unreasonable. How can that pile of scrap metal? Lillian then took the living evidence for those knights to see. Hey, do not you see the equipment that Cannon and Ravi are using? All of them have been improved by me. Lillian continued to point to the glasses that Lawrence was wearing. Lawrence's combat glasses are also my work. Lillian then said, But if you really do not believe it, I will explain the details of the principle to you. Lawrence's face darkened after hearing this. Wanting to stop her, do not, Lillian started explaining to these wooden knights. First, the most important thing in the design stage is the role of the catalyst and the propellant. The method I chose is to combine the propellant and the catalyst so that they interact with each other. With this principle, the explosion occurs. Do you understand? The knights' faces did not understand anything and were very confused, but they still tried to answer, yes. Seeing that the knights still did not understand much, Lillian suggested, What is wrong? Do you still not understand? Do you want me to explain more details? The knights were startled after hearing that, and exclaimed awkwardly, No, I completely understand. Magic engineering is really amazing. Seeing that those people did not understand made Lillian gloomy. You fools, whether I explain it in an easy-to-understand way or just say nonsense, your reactions are the same. At this time someone came and clapped his hands and praised, That is really amazing, is that true? Lillian turned to look when she heard the applause, Then she saw the mage who had come with the princess. The mage spoke politely. We meet again, sorry for suddenly interrupting. I heard this interesting story so I could not help but stop. I did not officially introduce myself last time. Then the mage bowed. Lillian quickly recognized him, the strange person standing next to Princess Bianca at that time. The mage introduced himself to Lillian. I am Princess Bianca's teacher and the elder of the Magic Tower. Lillian was shocked when she heard this, the Magic Tower. Seeing the mage, Lillian quickly remembered Heroine is also another character to be avoided and a male supporting character in the original game, the second danger that she is not allowed to meet. According to what she knew in the original work, he was the great mage of the Magic Tower and also a male supporting character. At first I thought he would use his innate magic talent to help the female-led escape. But in the end he was just another madman. Seeing the mage's radiant face made Lillian unable to believe it. I thought he was just a protector and attendant of the princess. I did not expect him to be a male supporting character. She was confused at this time, but why is Heroine interested in me? Kier suddenly spoke. What the young lady said about magic skills makes me very interested. Combining propellant and detonator to explode with the power of love, with my little knowledge of technology, I have never thought of this method. Lillian was startled after hearing that. Her face flushed red. The knights never listened seriously, so I just said nonsense to get it over with. I did not expect there to be someone who really cared. Kier suggested to Lillian, young lady, if you do not mind, can you spare some time for me? I would really like to listen to even a small part of your treasure trove of knowledge. Lillian was a little worried after hearing that and did not believe it. What? He really believes those nonsense words? Could it be that he has other intentions? At this time someone came to stop him. That is enough. Lawrence crossed his arms and said, none of the mages are trustworthy. What is your intention for approaching Lillian? Kier was flustered when he saw Lawrence suspecting him. What intention? I am just... At this time someone stepped forward and spoke. Hearing those words as a mage, I also feel a little sad. It turned out that the one who just spoke was the princess. The princess remembered what had happened. She fainted right after creating the barrier, so she was very curious about what had happened. Luckily she is okay, she still looks good. Lillian came forward and said, Your Highness Princess, you are safe, it is really lucky. Suddenly the princess spoke and called, young lady Lillian. The princess was sincerely very grateful to Lillian. If it were not for you, not only me but also the knights that I tried to protect would have lost their lives. I owe you a life. I am grateful to you. On behalf of everyone I would like to send my thanks. The princess bowed and was very grateful to Lillian. Seeing the princess like this, a word rang in Lillian's head, shy. I am too shy. Being thanked so solemnly by the royal family makes me feel pressured. That is right. Looking at the scene of the beautiful princess bowing and thanking also fascinated the knights. Although she was shy, Lillian still happily accepted it because she saw that it was more beneficial than harmful. But for the royal family to owe me a favor is not a bad idea. At this time the princess seemed to feel guilty and spoke. And I also want to apologize for being rude to the young lady before, to you and also to your doll. Lillian happily accepted after hearing that. Yes, your highness, thank you for saying sorry. Suddenly Clement appeared from nowhere and also wanted to apologize to Lillian. I also want to apologize to young lady Lillian. Seeing Clement appear made Lillian surprised. Young Master Vietro. Clement knelt on one knee and was grateful. Thank you for saving the lives of my knights. I swear wherever you are, as long as you are in danger, I will come to help immediately. Then Clement kissed the back of Lillian's hand, making her shudder. Clement smiled and invited, young lady Lillian. Would you like to visit the Vietro territory once? After the hunting festival ends, the teleportation gate to the Vietro territory will open. You will be a guest of honor. Hearing Clement's suggestion, Lawrence immediately kicked Clement in the face to stop him. Do not go too far. Who do you think you are to casually tell others to come or go? Lillian is very afraid of the heat, so hot places like that do not suit her. Lillian was happy on the side. Well done, Lawrence. Then politely refused. Thank you for the invitation, but I would like to decline now. Clement understood her after hearing that. Oh, I understand. At this time, another knight called everyone. Come on, now that you are here, let us have a meal together. Everyone had a meal together under the warm tent. Everyone gathered around the campfire. Ravi and Lillian were constantly chatting and laughing with each other. Princess, it was really spectacular at that time, the princess. Kier regretted seeing everyone chatting with Lillian without a gap. There is no way to cut in and start a conversation. Kier had to sigh and give up. Oh well, I will have to put up with it today. Until the next morning. Lillian sat in the tent looking out and thinking. So this will be the last morning in the Luminara snowfield. Thinking, then she turned to worry about Eden. When will Eden finally wake up? If he still has not woken up today, all the plans will fall apart. Could there be a problem with the detoxification? At this time she turned to worry about the Duke. Speaking of which, I do not know if father is okay. Lillian remembered the Duke's situation at that time. In the end, he looked like he had been poisoned quite badly. After defeating the snow centipede, he disappeared without a trace. He will probably be fine, right? After all, he is a person with extraordinary recovery abilities. Suddenly there was a sound that startled Lillian. Looking over, she saw Eden waking up and rubbing his eyes. Lillian happily rushed over and said brightly, "Eden, you are awake." Lillian spoke out her worries. "You really slept for an extremely long time. It made people worry sick." Eden looked around and asked, "Where is this? Did I get out of the cave?" Lillian then told Eden the situation. "You got out a long time ago. The hunting festival is over too. If you are awake, come with me because it is almost the award ceremony outside. The knights are gathering densely." Lillian and Eden stepped outside. Then she saw the Duke standing tall, which relieved her as expected. Father is still as healthy as ever. It was really a useless worry. Ravi turned to call Lillian. "Princess, you have arrived. The score sheet is almost calculated." She was excited after hearing that, really. Cannon knew that Lillian's legs were short and could not see the score sheet, so he sat down and suggested, "You can't see clearly, right? Let me lift it up for the princess to see." Lillian happily accepted after hearing that. "Thank you, Cannon." Lillian excitedly observed, "Let us see." Lillian was worried. "The whole team went to look for us, so we did not hunt anything," resulting in only 103 points, while the other teams all had 701,000 points. At this time Lillian noticed the number on the board, 3,021 points. She was confused. After the snow centipede appeared, they still continued to hunt. The steward stood up and announced, "Now all the points from the other prey have been calculated." The steward continued to announce, "After converting the magic power remaining in its corpse, the total points awarded will be 100,000. Hearing the number 100,000 points made everyone surprised. The steward said, "Of course, because it was not defeated by one team, the points will be divided according to the level of contribution." Ravi was excited after hearing that. "As long as we get a high contribution score, we can still turn the situation around." Princess Jean was also very confident. Besides the Duke, the person who contributed the most is definitely the princess. The steward announced, because Duke Sergenev did not directly participate in this hunt, the team with the highest contribution is. Lillian at this time was extremely looking forward to and praying. "Please," the steward announced, "the team that won 70,000 points out of a total of 100,000 points is Team Lillian." Everyone was happy after hearing that. "We succeeded," the steward concluded. "And as such, the champion of this hunt is also the team of young lady Sergenev." The team celebrated the victory. "We won, an overwhelming victory. Princess, we won. Congratulations, Princess." While she was happy, Lillian noticed Eden. Then rushed over to celebrate together. "Eden." Lillian whispered in Eden's ear, "I am so glad, Eden. Now I just need to get you out of here." Eden was very surprised after hearing that. He was confused and thought, "What is he saying? Take me out?" From the beginning he was planning to abandon me here. Lillian said softly, "I have prepared the travel expenses and the itinerary for you. Now you are completely free." Eden's face darkened and secretly complained, "Yet I did not know anything. I only wanted to save my master." Eden spoke, "Freedom." Lillian happily affirmed, "That is right. From the beginning that was the agreement between us, and you also know I always keep my promises. So later, you should also." Eden's face was extremely gloomy and he did not say a word. Then he suddenly said sadly, "It is meaningless anymore." Lillian was confused after hearing Eden's implied words. "Huh, what do you mean it is meaningless?" What Lillian really did not understand, he has always wanted to leave the Sergenev castle. Why is he reacting like this? Could it be that I said something that made him misunderstand? Eden's eyes changed, while in reality, from the beginning, you only thought about how to throw me away. Lillian was confused by Eden's words. "Eden, what are you saying?" Seeing Eden running away, Lillian quickly stopped him. "Eden." Jean on this side called Lillian back. "Princess, the award ceremony is about to begin. The main character can't be absent," Lillian stammered. "But what about Eden?" Jean calmly replied, "I do not know what happened, but he will probably be back soon." Jean happily said, "Anyway, he is also the one who did not hesitate to jump into the abyss just to follow the princess." Lillian stepped forward but was still worried in her heart. Before the gate opens, he will probably come back, right?" She came to stand in front of the Duke. The Duke spoke and called, "Lillian Sergenev. You are this year's champion." Lillian quickly replied, "Yes, father." The Duke admitted, "You deserve this victory." Lillian was a little surprised after hearing that. The Duke held the box in his hand and said, "I will give the sacred object to the winner." Lillian received the box and still remembered the Duke's praise. She wondered, did I just get praised by father? Lillian limped down the stairs, constantly thinking in her head, what is this? Both in this life and the previous life, this is the first time I have been congratulated and cheered like this. After receiving the sacred object, Lillian said seriously, Everyone has also worked hard," Ravi praised. "It is all thanks to the princess's contribution," Lillian thought. "I have taken the sacred object, so the reward should be divided among the members of the team." Lillian looked towards Jean and could not help but feel, "It is so lucky, Jean. At least this time he did not lose his life in the hunt like in the game. Now I just need to get Eden out of here safely and all the goals will be completed." But where did he run off to? Lillian looked into the distance, worried about Eden. Eden on this side was walking in the snow. Then bumped into someone. The person who was bumped into fell back hard and screamed, "Ah." Then pointed at Eden and criticized, "What is it, kid? Look where you are going when you run." Eden just turned to look without saying anything after hearing that. The knight quickly recognized Eden. Are not you the young lady's doll? He came over to praise Eden with a contemptuous voice, looking closely. You are really handsome. No wonder you are called a doll. It is not strange to look like this. Eden uncomfortably cursed, get lost. But this knight did not listen and insisted on opposing Eden. You are a little arrogant because you are favored by the young lady. Hey, tell me the truth, you are not a doll at all. But in reality you are just the young lady's toy, right? As soon as he finished speaking, his hand was grabbed by Eden. Then threatened, do you want me to break or pull out this finger? The knight screamed in pain. It hurts so much. Stop, please spare me. He admitted, what I mean is that I am jealous. Damn it, thanks to that handsome face you got noticed by the young lady. Eden quickly came up with a gloomy thought. If I make him shut up forever, it would probably be less troublesome, especially for my master. Eden suddenly released the knight's hand. He was in pain but still taunted Eden. Just because you have a good-looking face, you are so happy, you are really lucky, while I have had to work like a dog since I was a servant. And only recently became a trainee knight. This knight gloomily complained, the salary is meager, and I only dare to dream of a warm bath. His complaints made Eden more and more uncomfortable. Should I just kill him? Thinking then Eden thought of something else, but thinking about it carefully he is not wrong. Even a knight from Vietro, the rich south, has to be jealous of the luxurious meals, and the comfortable times to take a bath with rose water. Luxurious clothes, Eden affirmed. My life at the Surgenev castle is really luxurious. Eden remembered Lillian, and most of all, being by her side. Turns out it is not bad at all. Eden quickly understood the reason why he felt uncomfortable. That is right, that is why I feel so uncomfortable. The master's promised to keep her word and give me freedom. Eden decided I have to go back. On this side, Jean called Lillian princess. Lillian worriedly asked, Jean, have you found Eden? But Jean only sighed and replied, I can't see him. He must have gone far or is hiding between the tents. We will divide the area and search again. Lillian was uncomfortable after hearing that and thought, what should I do now? Half of the night squad has returned through the gate. No, I can't let this happen. Suddenly Lillian called Clement, young Master Vietro. Seeing Lillian find him, Clement immediately turned on the lovesick boy mode and replied, Young Lady Lillian. Lillian wondered, are you going to return to the Vietro territory right away? Clement was happy when Lillian asked that and asked, yes, are you planning to accept my invitation? Lillian immediately denied, no, that is not it. Lillian at this time really did not understand. Why is he paying attention to me? I do not have any fans besides Eden. She scratched her face and stammered and asked, are you planning to visit the Surgenev territory? Being invited by Lillian made Clement as happy as winning the lottery. Is the young lady inviting me to her territory? Clement constantly showed his desire to go. I really want to. I want to see the combat machines that you have deployed with my own eyes, and more importantly, I want to understand more about you. Lillian happily agreed, okay, but only visit for a short time and then go back to Vietro right away. In Lillian's head she thought, just stay until I catch that runaway wild cat. Clement excitedly babbled, I know. Then I will immediately set off to Surgenev. Suddenly a sound rang out and kicked Clement out. Get lost, you southern hick. Eden bluntly said, there is no need to invite him, master. Seeing Eden come back made Lillian surprised. Clement was also startled. What did you just say? Lillian was uncomfortable when she saw Eden, this runaway wild cat, leaving on his own, and then coming back on his own. Is he sane? Now he even dares to cause trouble with a southern guest. Eden spoke, I am not going, so the master's plan is no longer necessary. Let me stay, master. Eden's eyes were very determined. Making Lillian surprised, Eden. Clement uncomfortably scolded Eden. How dare you call me a southern hick? You dare to insult my homeland. Very well, let us have a duel right now. At this time Lillian stretched out her arms to stop Clement. I am sorry, young Master Vietro, I apologize on his behalf. Clement stammered, but young lady, Lillian took all of Eden's blame on herself. He is my person. His fault is also my fault. I will handle it myself, so please forgive him this time. Oh, and about visiting the Surgenev territory, just pretend it never happened. Then Lillian ran towards Eden, leaving Clement hurt and calling, you young lady. Lillian grabbed Eden's head and dragged him away. Eden, come here right now. It seems that you need to be taught about etiquette again from the beginning. The two came to a corner where there was no one and stopped. Lillian looked around worriedly. Is there anyone? At this time she questioned Eden, where did you run off to? No wait, what did you just say? What do you mean no more plan? Eden bluntly said, it is what it means. I decided to stay, an orphan like me. Even if I leave the north I can't survive out there. Being thrown into the world without anything to cling to. It is better to be a doll of some young lady and live. Lillian could not believe her ears after hearing that is. Lillian thought, now the servants in the castle have been replaced. Life in Surgenev is not lacking anything. For a person like Eden, who is used to the harsh and cold life outside. Thinking like that is also normal. Lillian decided not to accept it, but he is a prince of the empire, he must go back. A warrior destined to become an emperor and save the world would be willing to be a puppet. Lillian again carefully thought, moreover, although the curse has been resolved, it is best to avoid meeting Eloise. It is better to be careful. Suddenly she noticed Eden's trembling hands. Eden did not dare to look directly at Lillian and hesitated. Are not I also quite useful? I am good at fighting, hunting is also not bad. Seeing Eden's reaction made Lillian judge. Eden, do not tell me you are trembling. Suddenly Eden looked up with a flushed face and continued to look at Lillian, and also, you once said that you like my face. Lillian was very surprised after hearing that, that is. Then she crossed her arms and did not accept each thing in its place. She thought, it is really dangerous. I almost wavered. Eden was sad after hearing that. What is the use of being handsome? Suddenly Eden spoke again then. I will help you escape this castle. These words startled Lillian. Then she turned to look at Eden and stammered and asked, What do you mean? Why would I, a young lady of the Surgenev family, have to run away? Lillian really did not understand. Wait, I have never told anyone about the escape plan. Not even Eden. How did he know? Eden bluntly said, I heard everything. You talked in your sleep. Lillian was shocked and speechless after hearing that. Before Lillian slept, she really did talk in her sleep. I must escape this damn place before the coming-of-age ceremony takes place. I must. Eden took that as a condition to be allowed to stay. For you, the Surgenev city is not a safe place, right? Since you are planning to escape anyway, then go with me, I will help you. Lillian thought after hearing that, actually, I also need someone to help me. Lillian thought, a person who can melt my heart, which has been frozen, causing me to fall into a trance. I was even planning to ask the Black Society to help with this matter. At this time Lillian spoke to remind, but first, understand one thing clearly. It is not as simple as you running away from me to leave Surgenev. Then Lillian wondered, so why do you want to help me and even be willing to go with me? Eden immediately gave the answer, because you are strong. Eden's answer made Lillian confused. Strong, me? Although I unintentionally won the hunting competition, this is the first time I have heard someone say I am strong. Lillian remembered her family. In Surgenev, everyone around is like a monster, a symbol of strength, and everyone thinks that only physical strength is really worthwhile. Thinking then Lillian smugly looked, that is right, if you count the intelligence, the ability to judge the situation about the support equipment, then I am really not weak. Strength is not just in muscles, you also know how to see people. She accepted, okay, but there is a condition, but if you want to participate in my plan, you have to accept one condition. Eden wondered after hearing that, what condition? Lillian quickly said her condition. After returning to the Surgenev castle, you must not leave the room unless I allow it. Eden was very confused after hearing that and said, I already do that anyway. Lillian wanted to say, more importantly, but immediately realized that she had misspoke and cursed silently. Wait, if I accidentally say do not look at her. Would not it stimulate her curiosity? It is best to, Lillian ordered Eden, you must not look at any woman, no matter who it is. Eden was confused after hearing that. What? Seeing that Eden did not agree, Lillian turned to leave. If you do not like it, then I will ask young Master Vietro. Eden immediately accepted. Okay, I will do it, is that okay? Lillian happily grabbed Eden's hand and exclaimed after hearing that. Good, it is settled. Then she thought to herself, the matter of taking him back to the palace. I will think about it after escaping. She decided, now let us go back to my castle. Under the snow mountain. A voice rang out in a tent, yes, mother. The princess admitted her mistakes. I am sorry, mother. Young Lady Lillian Surgenev is more powerful than I thought. The princess remembered at that time, without using magic, she controlled strange machines. Even, she saved my life and the lives of the knights in danger. The queen could not believe it after hearing that. Machines? Are you saying that a pile of scrap metal can win against your magic? The princess regretted. I am sorry. I should have trained harder. I have disappointed you. Her teammates are all very strong. Especially a boy with purple eyes. He is also very. The queen wondered after hearing that. Purple eyes. The queen asked back confused, you did not mistake it for eye disease or black eyes? The princess denied. No, this is the first time I have seen a person with purple eyes. It is really strange. I thought, so there are people in this world with eye colors like that. The princess remembered Eden's appearance. Then she was very embarrassed. Even I was so childish that I acted cute with a young lady out of curiosity. Suddenly the queen spoke and complained about the princess. You are completely useless. Your brother can already use sword energy. Go back and focus on cultivating. Hearing the not very affectionate words from her mother made the princess sad. With tears in her eyes she replied, yes, mother, I will be back soon. The queen on this side looked into the orb with sharp eyes like knives. Then she remembered the princess's words. A boy with purple eyes. The queen saw Eden through the orb. Then she decided, maybe I need to verify this matter. Eden looked up as if he sensed that someone was watching him. At the Duke's mansion. The whole group had arrived. Eloise was happy and ran out quickly. Lillian then showed off to Eloise's sister. I won. Eloise praised after hearing that. Oh my god, I always believed you could do it, Lily. You are not hurt. Lillian grabbed Eloise's hand and assured, no, I am not. Eloise was saying, that is great, Lily. I am really proud of you. At this time she turned to pay attention to Eden. Eloise asked Lily, next to you is that doll friend. Can you see him? Lillian was startled when she was asked. Then she tried to avoid Eloise. Yes, he hates sunlight because of the long journey. I am a little tired. We will talk later, sister. Eloise agreed after hearing that. Oh, then go up and rest. After the two entered the room, Eden asked, can I take it off now? Lillian sighed and affirmed okay. Sasha saw that Lillian had returned, so she set out delicious food on the table to welcome her. Princess Lillian, you have worked hard. Please come in, you might be hungry. So I have prepared a meal. It has been a long time since she saw Sasha. So Lillian was extremely happy and called Sasha. Lillian came over and poked Sasha's hips and asked smugly, how is it? Did you win anything? Sasha stammered awkwardly, yes, yes. Lillian winked and reminded, I am talking about the betting to predict the winner in the hunt. According to what Lillian knew, every hunting season in Surgenev City, there would be a large casino that all the servants would participate in. 80% bet on Edward. The remaining 20% would definitely be placed on Lawrence. Shasha, the one who asked me to place the bet before leaving. Lillian thought she would receive a large amount of money and secretly calculated, I am giving all the prize money to the team thanks to this bet. Suddenly Sasha spoke with a gloomy face, that princess. Seeing Sasha's reaction made Lillian worried. Why is Sasha's reaction so strange? Could it be that I bet all my assets on an unreliable place? Sasha shouted happily, we won big. Sasha kept saying, I also bet all the money I had on the princess, and now I have won a lot. The princess will be my benefactor for life. Lillian was startled by Sasha's attitude just now. Phew, I thought I had lost all my money. Lillian grinned smugly. Shasha, I told you right. Lillian was like the supreme being. We will rewrite history, overcome all the difficult bets. Whatever she said, Sasha believed it. Yes, I only believe in the princess. Eden stood in the middle and was helpless to see this scene. Lillian is really a cult leader and a fanatic. Sasha came over and worriedly asked, Princess, do you need me to rub your shoulders? Lillian asked for help after hearing that. My shoulders are too heavy, then please do it for me. Sasha kindly asked again while the princess is being rubbed, would you like to drink a cup of hot chocolate? Lillian liked it. Chocolate sounds appealing. The aura from the two of them made Eden turn away bored. After the end of the hunt, Lillian had to continue to train, even though she received a reward, but in the hunt, she lost valuable years like her own blood. But I have to train hard at the training ground to make up for what I lost. While walking, she discovered something, that is. Looking at the servant in front of her, Lillian recognized her. She is Rosa, one of Olga's people. What a coincidence. Lillian smiled and called, Rosa, long time no see. Rosa was called back by Lillian and replied respectfully, yes, long time no see, Princess Lillian. She wondered and asked about Olga's situation. How is Olga these days? Remembering Olga made Lillian worried. She has a quiet personality. She does not resist. It makes me a little worried. Rosa was uncomfortable after hearing this and blamed Lillian. How do you know about Olga's situation? You are the one who made Olga become like this. Lillian was confused after hearing that and was bewildered. What is going on? Ravi heard the sound and also came over to ask about it. What is the matter, princess? Seeing Ravi, Lillian called, Night Ravi. Lillian explained, it is nothing big. I just wanted to ask about the chief steward who took care of me before. Ravi quickly remembered, so that is it, that chief steward then. Lillian was curious after hearing Ravi say that. Strange, even Night Ravi knows. It seems that Olga has encountered something. Lillian ordered Rosa, take me to Olga's place. Rosa refused. Olga is currently not in a good condition. She needs absolute rest. Lillian retorted, are you worried about what I will do? I just want to see her face. Take me there. Rosa insisted on refusing. I am really sorry, but... Ravi was uncomfortable seeing the servant constantly opposing Lillian and scolded. Why do you keep opposing the princess's order? If you do not want to be punished for the act of opposing, then follow the princess's order. Seeing Ravi's attitude made Lillian have to look at him with a different eye. Night Ravi. I thought he was a gentle person, but when he needs to be, he is very strict. That is right, otherwise, he would not have become the knight captain in the original game. Rosa had to do as Lillian said after hearing that. I understand, please follow me. The two walked on the corridor. Arriving at Olga's room, Rosa said, this is Olga's room, do not be too surprised. As soon as she entered the room, Lillian felt uncomfortable. What is that smell? On the bed at this time there was a figure lying on it. Lillian came closer and wondered and asked, what is the matter, Olga? But Olga could not answer. Then she turned to ask Rosa about the situation. What happened? Rosa covered her nose and asked Lillian back. Why are you asking me? She has been like this ever since she fainted in the room and was taken out. Lillian was surprised after hearing that. What, so it was because of the heart of the dead dragon that she became like this? Lillian remembered the children who touched the dragon's heart. I heard that the children woke up after a few days and were beaten up for trying to steal that heart. Even so, they would avoid me every time they met me. Looking at the current Olga made Lillian unable to understand. An adult like Olga fell into the situation. Is Olga too weak or is there another reason behind it? Olga was lying on the bed constantly moaning. It is so scary. Suddenly Olga sat up and grabbed Lillian. You are Abigail's daughter. Ravi worriedly called Princess, but was quickly stopped by Lillian. Wait, Night Ravi. Lillian thought that maybe she would hear her mother's story. Olga's uncomfortable voice rang out. Abigail, cough cough, that hateful woman, said she would give birth to a masterpiece. Said that the formula could not fail. Lillian was stunned by Olga's words. She was confused and thought, a masterpiece, said the formula would not fail.